Northside Ford in Effingham is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports. Stop by and see all the new and exciting 2013 Fords in stock now at Northside Ford, or visit them online at effinghamford.com.
Everybody, and welcome to PBL. Paxton High School, Paxton Buckley loaded to be precise when we're talking about the high school for Friday night football on 97.9 XFM, 97.9XFM.com. I'm Greg Sapp, Dustin White alongside. The amazing Brian back at the studios. Wayne's here to capture all the video, and that'll be on the website later in the week. And the best news of the day, it's dry, Dustin White.
So far, we've taken every precaution we can up here on the roof of the press box at Paxton Buckley Loda High School to make sure that if it does start raining, we're dry. But so far, so good. And as I've told you all the way up here this afternoon, it's not going to rain. I'm not worried about a thing.
And you had plenty of opportunity to tell me that it was going to stay dry because it is a long trip. But it's all interstate. Get on 57 at Effingham High School and come on up.
Interstate or not, 20 miles north of Rantoul starts to get to be a long way to play a game, but sometimes that's what you got to do, and that's what the Harts are doing. Another long road trip today after a long road trip last week. Let's hope that this one ends up a little better than it did last Friday. Yeah,
not good news for the Harts. We'll talk more about that and how things shape up heading into the action. We may have a somewhat abbreviated pregame show. The gentleman that's the AD here at PBL told us they may start things a little early just in anticipation of that rain Dustin says is not going to fall. So we may have an abbreviated pregame show and may get to kickoff a little quicker than expected. But, hey, you guys don't care about that. You're listening for football anyway. So pregame show brought your way, as always, by Josh Douth at Farmers Insurance. More to come in a minute here on 97.9 XFM. Southern and Eastern played last night in football. Eastern got a win for Dino Babers, their new coach, 42-28. So if you like offense, you love that game last night. Illinois opens tomorrow under their new coach, Tim Beckman. So we'll see what happens for the Illini. And getting close to the NFL. Last week, a preseason games going on. The Rams won last night. Bears won last night. So everybody's happy, at least at the top of the booth. I know they don't count, but we won, and that's what matters. Hey, Jared. Josh, how are you? Sounded good on the pregame show. There you go, Jared and Josh. Jordan Jaspering. We've got the coaching staff up here now, so now we can start. We're up here up top. We'll have a great view tonight. We're ready to rock. Zach Miller's ready to kick off as PBL will get the ball to start things. Their return man set up inside the 15, and that's where he takes the football, and he sends to the middle of the field. Harts are after him, gets away from one defender, and then he gets taken down. Scott Denk says hello, and he's taken down at about the 24-yard line. So the ball was taken by Zach Weisenbarn. We may see him as a receiver tonight for the Panthers. He's taken down by Scott Denk at the 27-yard line. So return of about 12 yards. Took it at the 15, returns it to the 27. That's where PBL will take it. 1st and 10. So we're underway. Getting started a little early. They said no sense waiting. Let's get some more game in before that rain Dustin says we aren't going to get.
Absolutely not.
PBL's ready to rock here. Weston Weber is their quarterback. He's up under center to start things. Handoff up the middle, and a decent gain before they take him down. Drew Schroet, we also heard he would be carrying the football a lot tonight. He takes it out across the 30 to the 30, actually the 32, gain of 5. So from the 27 to the 35, a gain of 5. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Great night, dry night. That's what we like.
Pretty good Effingham crowd across the way, too. Lots of fans made the long trip up here to Paxton.
I'm guessing folks went to Champaign or someplace, stopped, got them a bite to eat, and then came on up. That's good to hear. Weber stays up under center on 2nd and 5. Got a man coming to the near side. Levitt keeping an eye on him. They run it up the middle instead, and a good gain and a 1st down. There's the other man we heard would be a back, Jesse Hautzel, and he takes it out across the 40-yard line to the 40-yard line. So from the 32 to the 40, a gain of 8, and it's a 1st down for the Panthers. PBL Panthers. Paxton and Buckley and Loda. They're going to call it the 41 now, Dustin. Gain of 9. Ball spotted on the 41-yard line. So they've kept it on the ground here these first few plays and are having success, pretty much just taking it up the middle. Weber gets the snap. They give it to the deep back. He's a little bit off tackle and takes it maybe 3 yards. Schroet, the ball carrier. Looked like Travis Durbin, who had a pretty good game defensively, got in there on the stop to the 43, give him 2, make it 2nd and 8. Just underway again. We got started a little early, so if you're just joining us, you're listening to 97.9 XFM, WXEF in Effingham. Friday night football. We're at Paxton, Illinois. Halfway to Chicago from Effingham. Weber up under center on 2nd and 8. Pulls away, got back in time. There's the snap. They give it up the gut. Schroet out across the 45, near midfield before they finally take him down. Levitt in on the stop. Durbin again came over to help, and Levi Michael off the bottom of the pile. 43 to the 48. Gain of 5. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
And so far, this PBL running game hasn't had a whole lot of trouble making some gains here. Moving out towards midfield, the Harts need to get a big stop here, 3rd and short.
Going to be a quick game if keeps up like this. 9:49 to go opening quarter. 3rd and 3, Weber gets the snap. He gives it to the up back, and he gets into Effingham territory, and he has the first down. He takes it to the 46 before he's finally taken down. Levi Michael came around and made the stop. But again, a gain from PBL's 48 to Effingham's 46, a gain of 6, and a first down for the Panthers.
That was Will McClure that time taking a carry for the PBL Panthers. He came into the game and then came right back off the field.
He's listed as a wing back, so they run the wing T some, so we'll see what happens here. They have a new set of downs into Effingham territory at the Harts 46. Weber's worked up under center the entire drive. Long count. There's the snap. Gives it to the deep back. That's Schroet. The Harts smelled that one out. Nice job. Might have in fact lost a yard. Good work. Dinks in there. Michael in there. And also helping out up front for the Harts, one of the linemen, Taylor Clare. And actually a loss of a yard. So from the 46 to the 47 brings up a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that time it looked like Effingham sniffed things out pretty quickly. Kind of had an idea where the ball was going to go and snowed him under before he got a chance to even turn the corner.
So 2nd and 11. They've had 3 different kids carry the ball. The quarterback has not yet. Let's see what happens here on 2nd and 11. They give it to the deep back. The Harts again defend it well. And down he goes. It's Schroet, I believe. And he might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. A lot of people penetrated. Nice work by the Harts. Dink was in there again. And also some help up front. Kai Harmon helped on that one. And also Evan Boggs, or Little Boggs as I call him.
And
6'7" and 310.
Did indeed get back to that line of scrimmage, and it took every bit of effort he had to do so. And he's a pretty solidly built boy even from up here on top of the press box at 5'10", 180 pounds. He looks pretty well put together in the backfield.
So back to the 46. It's 3rd and 10. Weber for PBL takes the snap, rolls out. Goes to the Hart side of the field. Now he's in trouble. There's a flag, so a hold maybe. He comes back to the near side of the field. He's going to get the first down. He's near the Harts 30, still on his feet. Dink finally takes him down at about the 28-yard line. But it's a first down. Now let's see what the flag's about. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a hold on PBL, and there is the call. There you go. So it's going to come back. You knew it when the quarterback stopped and then tried to reverse field, came to the near side of the field. The flag came out, and you had a feeling somebody was helping a little too much.
Absolutely. Anytime he's got that much time in the backfield and you see the flag come out in the backfield, it's a pretty easy call to make.
Flag's thrown at the 49. See if they mark it from the line of scrimmage, though. Nope. They're going to score it at PBL's 41-yard line. So it was a 3-yard loss on the play, Dustin, from the 46 back to the 49. Then the 10-yard walk-off back to the PBL 41. So that really benefited the Harts. It's 3rd and 23 all of a sudden. So they did okay their first series. The second series, the Harts have figured it out. Let's see what they try here back on their own 41-yard line in 3rd and 23. They look to throw. They go across the middle. They're going deep. The Harts are there, and it is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. I was worried that Marcus Robinson wasn't going to turn around, but he did just in time. There is a flag, though, and let's see if there's interference. Well, I was watching downfield. Something back about the line of scrimmage occurred, and it's a personal foul on the Harts.
You know, that was a bit of a bugaboo last week. A couple of late hits against the Harts, and you really hate to see that. And Here it's going to take what was a 3rd and 23, and it's going to give the Paxton Buckley Lota Panthers a whole new set of downs. It's just, it's unacceptable.
Actually, it's not a whole new set of downs.
Is it not?
It was 3rd and 23, and it's a 15-yard walk-off, so that'll bring up a 3rd and about 8 now.
I guess I thought that a personal foul. Personal foul does give you a first down automatically.
So the 15 yards brings it back into Effingham territory to the 44, and then it is a new set of downs. I'm sorry, they hadn't changed the marker, and I should have listened to you. So it's at the 44 of Effingham, and they've got a man loose up the middle. He's still on his feet. I'll give credit to the Harts because otherwise Haltzel was gone. Matt Woltman got hit a lick, got back up, and still made the stop. He saved a touchdown, but as it is, it's a first down to Effingham's 24-yard line. So from the 41, Dustin, to the 24, a gain of 17 yards, and it's another first down. Well, I tell you, how unfortunate is that personal foul now? The Harts had him dead in the water.
That hurts. That was fullback Jesse Haltzel taking his first carry for the PBL Panthers.
I think he might have carried once in the first set of downs. Anyway, here's the snap. They run it up the middle again. That's Schroed, I believe, and he gets to about the 20.
Number 28, Schroed the ball.
So Schroed to the 20. So that's a gain of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
It's possible I have a number 15 and a number 45. I could easily get confused.
Okay, where are they going to? They mark it inside the 20 at the 19. So from the 24 to the 19. Actually, let's call it the 20, a gain of 4, so it's 2nd and 6.
Gotcha.
And Weber's still up under center, 2nd and 6 now at the Harts 20. They give it to the up back, and Haltzel that time got hit a lick. Hit him pretty solid. Dink's in there again. Boy, he's had a lot of business on this first drive tonight. Boggs got a start tonight, and Claire, of course, got a start for the Harts. He's pretty much playing line both ways for Effingham. Scott Dink got a start tonight. Brandon Loy's in there for the Harts. So that's the kids, the 4 kids that are up front defensively right now for the Harts, and then Levi Michael is the 5th. So 3rd and 3, ball's at the Harts 17 after a gain of 3 there. Drive has consumed a lot of time, and finally timeout PBL. So the Panthers call time. 5:38 to go opening quarter. There's no score. We're still on the opening drive of the game here. Paxton, Buckley, Lota, and Effingham. Friday Night Football on 97.9 XFM. All right, here 3 at the 17 of the Harts. They give it up the middle. Now they're going to roll instead. The quarterback, Weber, keeps. He's inside the 10, and there's a flag. As the Harts took him down, they threw a flag. I'm not sure what that was about. It looked like a pretty clean hit. Cody Sennett came up and made the stop. They call it at the 9. Let's see what this is about. Okay, it's against PBL. That's what the deal was. Well, I looked like Cody's hit was pretty clean for the tackle, but a Panther got there. So they'll talk this over with the Harts. The ball spotted at the 9, which would be a gain of 8.
Illegal block in the back was called there against the Panthers. A costly penalty because they probably had that first down, and maybe kind of an eye for an eye type of thing. Effingham extended their drive, and now the Panthers are going to be facing a 3rd and 4.
So it's a gain of 8 from the 17 to the 9. Then the 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the infraction sends the football back to the Effingham 19-yard line. So you give them the gain, and then the 10-yard walk-off. Boggs out for Effingham. We'll try and let you know about these changes on the line as much as we can because the Harts are literally still experimenting with who they want in different situations. So it's 3rd and 5 at the 19. They roll out again. Weber's going to throw. He's got a Hart there, and he's got a PBL guy there, and the PBL man fell down. It's incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Got his feet tangled in coverage there with the Effingham player, and fortunately that ball was overthrown enough that you couldn't make any kind of a case for interference or anything like that. And now we'll see what PBL does here. I don't know. They take a pretty good high school kicker even from this range, I think, so they'll probably surely go for it.
Trent Wooten was the intended receiver. He fell down. Marcus Robinson had the coverage for Effingham, so it's back to the 19, and it is 4th and 5, and they will go for it.
Well, now it looks like they're setting up to kick. Number 11, which would be Jonah Wilson.
From Weston Weber's hold. Ball will be placed on the 26, so a 36-yard field goal attempt here. And there's the snap, the placement, the kick, it's up, and it is plenty good. Holy cow, he nailed it. He might have made 46. So it's 3-0 PBL on a 36-yard field goal by Jonah Wilson. Score comes with 4:53 to go in the first quarter. PBL 3, Effingham nothing. Kickoff in a minute on 97.9 XFM. Well, you look back to the personal foul called on Effingham when they had this drive stuffed. PBL turns it into 3 on a 36-yard field goal by Jonah Wilson. 14-play, 47-yard drive. Took 7:07 off the clock. And the score comes with 4:53 to go in the opening quarter. And now Wilson will kick off here. And it's a boot in the middle. Comes to the near side of the field now. It's taken by Durbin, and he lost his balance. And, boy, he got his feet taken out from under him. Nice stop out there by Trent Wooten, who we just saw as a receiver earlier. So Durbin got it to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, 5-yard return for Durbin on a just a 36-yard kick. But I think that Wilson probably kind of was more trying to angle that one than get all of it.
And as a result, the Harts have a ways to go, but they finally have the football. Man, we've only got 4:50 to go in the opening quarter. That was our opening drive. The PBL chewed up 7 minutes and got this field goal, and so they are on the board. Let's see what the Harts do offensively. Boy, you'd love to see them bounce back. Nice sustained drive from the shotgun. Vale hands the ball to Logan Howell, and he lost his footing and might have got a yard. Might have got to the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard. I'm not getting more optimistic, am I? Call it the line of scrimmage. No gain at 2nd and 10. So the Harts, nothing on their first play here. And looks like Vale's going to go up under center here on 2nd and 10. Harts often use a shotgun, but they're going to go to the traditional set here. And they may throw. Nope, they're going to run it up the middle. And the up back has a little bit of momentum, but not a lot. He got it out across the 20. And coming out of the mess there is Howell again.
Number 33, Howell.
So Logan Howell
Number 60, Reno
advances the football out across the 25 to the. Took a loss. Lost my spotting on the field here from the 29 back to the 27, a 2-yard loss. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Back to the shotgun. Vale wants to throw to the far side, and it's off the hand of the intended receiver. It falls incomplete. The pass was intended for Carter Hayes, and he got one hand on it, and it's 4th down. So PBL took 7 minutes on their first drive, and the Harts took about 1 minute.
Vale got hit as he threw that football, too. He had no time to get rid of it before the guy coming around the corner of the line planted him. I mean, he was getting hit as he let go of the football.
So PBL feeling their oats here in the early part of this game. Get a field goal and then stuff the Harts a 3 and out. Zach Miller back to punt inside his 20-yard line. Vale barks out the signals. There's the snap. It's a low one. Miller has trouble picking it up, and he gets away, and he may get a couple of yards, and instead he's taken down at the 20. Low snap. Miller did what he could. He got away from the line of scrimmage anyway. But PBL is in the driver's seat as they are sitting 1st and 10 at Effingham's 19-yard line. So
7-yard loss on the play.
And 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Harts' 19-yard line.
And that's the most important part there.
Not what you were hoping for at the start of this football game. Cole Moran in there for the Harts on the line. So the Harts just saw PBL score a field goal. Now they have to go right back out there and play defense inside their own 20.
And you know the Panthers are already within scoring range again.
You bet, judging by that first play. And now, after nobody's there to hand off to, Weber gets pasted. Good defense by the Harts. Kai Harmon's back there, so's Cole Moran. And the ball is pushed back to the 21, so a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 12. So he got that Moran right, didn't he, Wayne? There you go. Should we tell him? It's Wayne's nephew. It's everything Wayne taught him. You just watch. 2nd and 12 now, back to the 21, so that helps. Weber up under center. There's the snap. He gives it to the up back, and Hautzel has it, and he gets inside the 20, and then the Harts stuff it. Dink and Levi Michael and also Matt Woltman, who's been a busy lad here early on. This is Matt's first year out for football, and he's making up for lost time. 21 to the 17, a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
And even though Hautzel got stood up there, he never did leave his feet. He had 3 or 4 Effingham players hanging on him, and he stayed and stood his ground.
Stout lad. So 3rd and 8 at the Effingham 17. Weber up under center. There's the snap. It's a pitch. They give it outside, and now he cuts back to the inside, and he's inside the 5-yard line before they finally take down Drew Schroet. 1st and goal for PBL inside the Harts 5-yard line. Boy, they pitched it to the far side. He cut it back to the middle. It is at the 2, from the 17 to the 2, a gain of 15 yards, and it's 1st and goal to go for PBL at the Harts 2-yard line.
Schroet just about doubled his yardage for the game in one play. He had 16 yards on 6 carries and then picked up 15 right there.
So 1st and goal to go at the Harts 2. Weber stays up under center. 3-0 PBL, and they're knocking on the door. There's the handoff. He runs. He doesn't get in. Now does he dive and make it? There it is. He's in for the score, says the side official. Touchdown PBL. Good second effort by Weston Weber, the PBL quarterback, and they extend their lead to 9-0 on a 2-yard touchdown run. The score comes with 1:54 to play in our first quarter. So, consecutive drives, PBL scores on a 2-yard run by their quarterback, again, Weston Weber. So they've shown us several weapons offensively in the early going of this game. And we're just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. They'll kick for 1. I don't blame them. From Weber's hold, Jonah Wilson will kick. There's the snap, the placement, the kick. It is up, and it's out about I-57. No good, though. Hooked it. Plenty of foot, but he hooked it. Kick is no good.
It hit the scoreboard, and that's
No good.
So that will bring the clock to a stop with 1:54 to go. They do get the touchdown, and PBL's extended their lead to 9-0. All right, let's take a 30-second break. Back with the kickoff here in a moment on 97.9 XFM.
Northside Ford in Effingham is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports. Stop by and see all the new and exciting 2013 Fords in stock now at Northside Ford, or visit them online at effinghamford.com.
4 plays, 19 yards. It only took 1:46. They score on a 2-yard run by their quarterback, Weston Weber. The kick was no good. The PBL's in front 9-0, and the Harts have run 3 plays on offense. This is not shaping up as I'd hoped.
Yeah, you really thought that Effingham might have a chance to come out and set its own pace for the game, but instead the home team has pretty much dominated time of possession, and right now they're leading the scoreboard 9-0.
So let's see what happens here with 1:54 to go in the opening quarter. 9-0 PBL. Not out of reach, obviously, but you'd sure like to see the momentum change. They again bring it to the near side of the field. It's off the hands of the Harts return man. It is picked up, though, by Caden Vaughn, and he gets it out across the 40-yard line before they run him out of bounds. The receiver, the return man, was Jesse Mosby. Went off Jesse's hands, but nice work by Caden Vaughn to pick it up when it was a live football, and he returns it out across the 40 to the 45-yard line, so the Harts with pretty good field position to start this series.
That's some good fortune for Effingham, because you're real close to possibly giving the Panthers another short field, and instead you get a nice little field position out there to the 42. See what we can do with it.
42 is where this series will start. 1st and 10 for the Harts at their 42-yard line. And we're in Paxton, Illinois at PBL High School. Right along I-57. I can tell you about the traffic patterns. From the shotgun, Vale gives it, and moved by Zach Miller inside after he'd cut it out to the wide side and might have got a yard or 2.
And we got a flag in the backfield, so I'm anticipating a holding call here.
Except they're talking to the Harts, so let's see how this ends up here. Nate Vale is pleading his cause with the official. Let's see whether it paid off.
Illegal shift.
Yeah. They say the Harts were The Harts were called for an illegal shift, so that should be a 5-yard walk-off. The Harts didn't gain a whole lot. I wonder whether PBL might. Yeah, I don't blame them. They just declined it because the Harts got nothing, so they lose the down. Why take the penalty? So it's 2nd and 10. Now they're giving them a yard on the field. I'm sorry, Dustin. So 1 yard for Miller. Zach Miller gets 1 yard, so it's at the 43-yard line. Bale's going to stay in the shotgun, and the snap is over his head, and somebody better get there, and it's PBL that recovered that fumble. Nathan Bale tried to get there, but PBL got there sooner, and they cover up the snap that got away. Credit where credit's due to Trent Wooten for PBL. He recovered the fumble, and here they are knocking on the door again. It's 1st and 10 for PBL at the Harts' 26-yard line.
Yeah, these Effingham boys probably need to wake up here pretty soon because they're digging themselves a hole that's going to get tougher and tougher to dig out of, judging by that first Paxton possession.
So from the 43 to the 26, a loss of 17 for the quarterback, and 1st and 10 for PBL at the Harts' 27-yard line. Here's the play. They run it. They come to the near side. He's still on his feet. They can't get him down. It's Schroet. He's inside the 10, the 5, a touchdown PBL. Boy, he shredded 3 tackles. And it's a touchdown for the Panthers, and they have extended their first quarter lead to 15-0. What a run by Schroet. Any number of Harts had the opportunity to bring him down, but nobody could find the right place to bring him down, and he takes it in. 26-yard touchdown run they have on the board for the score. And PBL extends the lead to 15-0. The score comes with 1:18 to go in the first quarter. So it'll be Wilson to try again. His 3rd kick of the quarter already. Here's the snap. The Harts try to block it. Robinson had a good angle, didn't block it. It's good. 16-0 PBL, 1:18 to go in the first quarter. 16-0 PBL. Back with a kickoff in a minute on 97.9 XFM. One play, 26 yards, a 9-second drive. Nice run by Schroet. 26-yard touchdown. Kick was good by Wilson. It's 16-0 PBL, and the Harts have had it for 4 plays. Here's the kickoff. Again, they come to the near side of the field. The Harts try somebody else back there. It's Travis Durbin, and he gets it out across the 45-yard line. A nice return. So Travis Durbin efficiently makes the catch and a good return out across the 45-yard line, and the Harts have really good field position here to start this drive. Tell you what, you'd love to get at least a little moment. I'm going to call the 45. So the 45 is where it's 1st and 10 here.
Field position's great. Now let's try and put a drive together without making any mistakes, because so far you've got a turnover and a bad penalty that have cost you points, and Effingham just has looked a little bit lost so far.
Minute 11 to go in the first quarter. Still plenty of time. See what Nathan Bale can do here on 1st and 10 from up under center. They handed up the gut, and PBL was waiting. And the ball's loose. And it's recovered, I think, by the Panthers. Holy cow. Let's see. The officials haven't said. The Harts are going to hang on to the football here. They went down there and got their nose in there and held on to the football. It appeared that as the back was trying to drive for some additional yardage, the ball came loose. The Harts did recover it. It's at the 48. So basically a loss of 1, and it's 2nd and 11. So the ball back to the 48-yard line of the Harts. Boy, this has not been pretty so far, folks. Vale from the shotgun throws. It's caught and dropped by Marcus Robinson. The incomplete pass will stop the clock with 25 seconds to go, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11. Quick, give me something positive to talk about.
It hasn't started raining yet.
We may want it to. Oh, mercy. 16-0 PBL. We're still in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 11. We had great field position and so far haven't been able to do anything with it. So let's see what happens here on 3rd and long. Vale back in the shotgun again. There's the snap, a good snap. Here they come after him. He gets loose, gets the pass away. It's caught. There's a first down, and now good run after the catch. He may have a lot of territory. He gets inside the 40 to the PBL 35-yard line. Nice catch, good run after the catch. Carter Hayes on that reception for the Harts.
And that's the initial first down of the evening for the Harts. Comes with 14 seconds to go here in the first quarter, but a nice catch, and more importantly, a nice run after catch.
So from the 48 of us to the 35 of them, a 17-yard pass completion and a first down. And let's see if we get one more play away here, and we do before the first quarter ends. I think that's Caden Vaughn. He's still driving the legs. He got a little bit of yardage out of it, and that'll end the first quarter. Well, the Harts have something to build on with that first down on the pass play. It's a gain. Actually, it's a gain to the 33, gain of 2. We played 16-0 PBL over Effingham. Second quarter on the way. Let's see if the Harts can sustain this drive. Back in a minute on 97.9 XFM.
Got aches and pains from those football games? Stop by Andy's Health Mart Pharmacy and see what we can do for you. Ask one of our pharmacists about the products that can get you back into game shape. Locally owned and conveniently located at 805 West Fayette. Andy's Health Mart Pharmacy, caring for you and about you.
Well, we're ready for the second quarter. We're at Paxton Buckley Loda High School. PBL's leading Effingham 16-0, but the Harts have a sustained drive going for the first time in the football game. They have it 2nd and 8. Football is at the PBL 33-yard line, so let's see what we can get going here. Nate Vale in the shotgun. High snap, but he gets it. Good time to throw. He lofts it out there. He's got a man there. It is caught by Levitt. He gets it inside the 5-yard line. Nice grab by Drew Levitt out there. First down for the Harts, 1st and goal to go inside the 5-yard line. Boy, Nathan Vale lofted it out there. That was pretty, and Drew Levitt was waiting.
Yeah, that was an athletic catch from Drew Levitt. Had to go airborne to make it haul it in over the defender. Great job all around.
33 to the 3, a 30-yard pass completion, so the Harts have unloaded the passing game, and now they're moving the football. 1st and goal to go at the PBL 3. They got Howell in motion and then flags on both sides of the field. Was it too much time?
It kind of looked.
Where do we line up offside? They're talking to the Harts, though. Wait a minute. Let's see what's the deal. Or are we going to have nothing? Procedure penalty, it is on the Harts. So it is a 5-yard walk-off.
And they blew the whistles and stopped the play, unlike last week.
Yeah. But I talked enough about that last week, didn't I? All right, a 5-yard walk-off back to the 8. And that'll make it 1st and goal from the 8. Still 1st and goal to go, though. That's the bottom line. So let's hope that doesn't come back to burn us. Vaughn lines up alongside Vale in the Harts backfield. He goes in motion. Hal at the slot. They row out here to the near side. Hal catches it, and it's to the 10, and another flag, and I wonder whether we had 2 kids in motion.
I think Effingham had a receiver start early, right before the snap, I believe. Now, they may not, waive off the penalty here. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. The pass was complete, but for a 2-yard loss back to the 10. So they are good either way. Let's see what PBL decides on here.
Well,
either it's a catch for a 2-yard loss, which loses a down, or they'll push him back farther away from the end zone. Either is a good choice. They'll take the penalty. So 5 more yards. It's still 1st down, but now it's 1st and goal at the 13, which has turned into the 14. I think we lost a yard in there somewhere, doesn't it? They spot the ball back on the 14 now.
Mistakes have just been costly all around, and it's kind of, I hate to be too negative, but it just seems like it's shaping up to happen again. We'll see what the Harts do coming out of this timeout.
PBL timeout, minute 11:20 to go, second quarter. Back in a minute on 97.9 XFM. All right, timeout PBL there. They want to know how to handle this defensively. It's 16-0 Paxton Buckley Loda leading Effingham. 11:20 to go in the second quarter. Harts still have it 1st and goal, but now it's 1st and goal back at the 14-yard line. So let's see what happens here. Consecutive penalties have pushed the Harts from the 3 back to the 14. I'm not sure how it got back to the 14, but hey, I'm just saying.
Some discussion going on the Effingham sideline. Coach Mike McDonald's got a couple of the members of the officiating crew. He's holding court over there, seeing I don't know what they're talking about, but now we're going to get things going. And Effingham, they just need to run a few plays here without some mistake-free plays, and they can get in the end zone. But we just haven't seen that so far this evening.
Just need to score, gang. We've scored one touchdown so far this season. Let's see what happens here. Caden Vaughn in motion to the far side. Vale from the shotgun, high snap, but he's got it. Here comes PBL. They throw across the middle. It's incomplete. Tried to throw it through the official. It was Zach Miller, who I think is saying he got held or got helped to the turf before the ball got there. Anyway, it goes incomplete. Stops clock with 11:15 to go in the second quarter, and it's second down and goal. Again, at the 13 and 7/8 yard line. Beautiful night. Thank you, Lord. It's a beautiful night. Vale again from the shotgun. Second and goal. Just inside the 14. Good throw. He's got. He's man-threaded the needle. That's pass interference to boot. Now it's Levitt. He says he did catch it. Now he's going to say incomplete. Regardless, it's pass interference, and this is going to turn out well for Effingham.
Pass is complete.
They do call a completed pass. Now this is interesting because it's going to be right on the goal line. So do you take the half the distance penalty and get your start over with downs again, or do you take the ball where it was?
At the 2-yard line.
Let's see. We've got to look right up top. The ball is right at the 1-yard line, even in the one, and they do decline the penalty. The Harts do turn the penalty down. That was a heck of a catch by Drew Levitt. Nathan Vale threaded it right between two receivers, and Drew held on to that football. That's great concentration. So the penalty is declined, and the Harts have it third and goal just outside the goal line. So third and goal just outside the goal line. Again, the football is just outside the goal line. So let's see what happens. I'm running here. There's the indication from the official about the penalty, and again that it is declined by the Panthers, and so it's third and goal. And again, the football's inside the 1-yard line. So let's see if the Harts can dent the scoreboard here. Vale goes up under center here on third and goal. Got Vaughn lined up behind him. There's Logan Howell, and he dives into the ball, gets loose, but it's claimed by the Harts, and it's a touchdown. How about that? I don't think that's how that was supposed to happen, but Levi Michael just scored a touchdown for the Harts. They gave the ball to Logan Howell. He tried to dive over the goal line, and he did, and he lost the football, and Levi Michael was there to cover it up, and the Harts score the touchdown. And that makes it a 16-6 game. Wow. You'll want to see that on video. Bottom line is, we scored, and it's 16-6. Score comes with 10:52 to go in the second quarter. Harts look like they'll go for two. There's the snap. Vale to throw. He lobs it into the corner of the end zone. Carter Hayes dove, and it's out of the end zone. Incomplete.
Pass was too deep. Even if he could have caught it, I think he would have been out the back of the end zone.
16-6. The Harts are on the scoreboard. Touchdown comes with 10:52 to go in the second quarter. Back with a kickoff in a minute on 97.9 XFM. That's how that shakes out. Again, Logan Howell dove over the goal line, but they didn't signal touchdown until Levi Michael covered up that football. So touchdown Effingham. We'll give you the drive here in a minute. And finally, Zach Michael gets to kick off, and he kicks it inside the 20. And we have whistles. And let's see what this is about. Another penalty. Harts got downfield too quick on the kickoff. It's offside. So there's another penalty. 5-yard walk-off. And so the Harts will kick it from the 35.
That's 5 penalties against Effingham here in the first quarter and minute. Well, first 13 minutes of action.
Everybody's trying to do what they can do to right the ship, and sometimes you get a little over-enthusiastic. So let's see what happens here after the 5-yard walk-off. Who knows, maybe Zach will really put his foot in this one. That was a pretty good kick. He'll try it now from the Harts' 35-yard line. Everybody stay back. Let Zach kick the football there. I think we're good this time. Nice kick. Inside to the 20-yard line. PBL runs it up the middle. It looks like Schroet, and he gets it out across the 40-yard line. Nice return. Took it at the 20. Gets the football to the 41-yard line. 21-yard return. So Dustin from the 20 to the 41, a 21-yard return, and PBL has it 1st and 10 on their 41-yard line. Both teams have had surprisingly good field position through most of this football game. That scoring drive for the Harts, 8 plays, 55 yards, took 226. Again, highlighted by the 1-yard touchdown run by the combine of Hal and Michael. The pass for 2 was unsuccessful. Harts call time as PBL sets it up. Timeout, Harts, 10:45 to go second quarter. It's PBL 16, Effingham 6. You're on 97.9 XFM.
Family's future. Call Tammy Douthit today at 217-347-5313.
From the 41, PBL runs it up the middle, and they get about 5 yards out of the play. Hautzel carried. That's Jesse Hautzel. He and Drew Schroet, with a little bit of help from Will McClure, have carried the football so far in this game. 5-yard gain from the 41 to the 46. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5. So it's 16-6. The Harts have dented the scoreboard now. Now you'd love a 3 and out.
Yeah, you absolutely would like to see that stop here. You don't want to let PBL run another 7-minute drive like they did earlier in the game. You want to take the football back, try to get a little bit closer here before halftime.
All right, so 2nd and 5 at the 46. As Weston Weber's been up under center throughout the contest. Barks out the signals. There's the handoff to the deep back, and he lost his footing, and that turns out to be not too much. Zach Miller, the kickoff man for the Harts, is also on defense, and they'll score that at the 45, a loss of a yard. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 6. So nice defense that time by the Harts.
I'm not sure Schroet had a path to a first down on that play, but obviously the tripping didn't help him any. I think he would have had a little bit of a gain there, but Effingham's defense was swarming him there. Big 3rd and 6 coming up.
They're at the PBL 45, 3rd and 6, and boy, a stop here would be lovely. Weber up under center on 3rd and 6. Takes his time. There's the snap. He rolls out, hands it up the middle on a cross play, and the Harts stuff it pretty well, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Nice work by Effingham's defense there. Will McClure carried, and the stop goes to the Harts, number 70. That's Zach Wilson. So Zachary got in there and made the stop. It is the 47-yard line, Dustin. A gain of 2, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Might have to give an assist to one of the PBL players because McClure ran smack into one of his own guys there at the line of scrimmage, and that slowed him down. But regardless, Mr. Miller gets in there, or Mr. Wilson gets in there, and time to stop the play, and Effingham forces a much-needed punt.
So the Harts score. They force a 3 and out. Let's see about the punt here. The Harts rush, but the punt is in the air, and it's a fair catch, and it's called at about the 25-yard line as it's taken out there by Noah Hagan. Noah Hagan got that ball, called the fair catch at the 25, and that's where the Harts will set up shop here, 1st and 10. So, much better second quarter than the first quarter. It was 16-0 PBL. The Harts have scored, and they forced a stop, and now let's see what they can do. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So maybe the Wyme is toying here.
I could see it. Effingham just needs to string together another good possession here, and I think they will.
And now as the air freshens, PBL calls timeout. Still no rain, but a timeout. We've had plenty of those, too. Back in 30, Brian. It's 16-6 PBL here on 97.9 XFM. PBL called that timeout. It comes with 8:26 to go in the second quarter, and every indication was we were battling when the rain would get here. So far it's been dry as a bone, and we'll hope that continues until we're safely in the vehicles on our way home, or home. And then we'll see what the weekend brings. 1st and 10 for the Harts at their own 25. PBL called timeout. The Harts called time when PBL set up to start their last drive too. So these coaches are playing quite a guessing game here.
Yeah, they got to feel each other out. Obviously, they've never seen each other in action before, and it's a little confusing at times.
From the shotgun, Nathan Bale throwing. There's Levitt. He leaps and cannot get it. Heck of an effort by Drew Levitt. Good coverage, too, for PBL. Give credit where credit's due to Weston Weber, their quarterback, who's also back there in the defensive secondary. And I thought Levitt had a shot at it. Drew got a hand on it, but really, that would have been a sensational catch. As it is, the incompletion stops the clock with 8:20 and brings up a 2nd and 10. So the Harts go in the air here.
They've kind of reinvented themselves the last couple of possessions. It worked out last time. We'll see if they can make it work here.
Caden Vaughn in motion here for the Harts. High snap. going to throw again. Across the middle this time, and it is incomplete. Levitt again was the intended receiver. He went to the middle. Weber again stayed right with him, and the pass is again incomplete. So let's try somebody else, because Weber's got the best of it the first two plays, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 at the 25.
It seemed like Vale put it in a pretty good spot for Levitt to make the catch. Maybe a little bit low as he had to leave his feet, try to make a sliding grab there, and it was unclear from our vantage point just how close he did come to hanging on to it. But the important thing here is you're facing a 3rd and 10. You really need to keep the chains moving.
Sure, and you figure now it's 3rd and 10. Now you're almost certain to throw, and PBL will see what they can do about that. Harts with a couple of wideouts here on the near side of the field. A lot of time for Vale. He's going way deep. He's got a man. There it is. Caught by Logan Howell, and he's gone. Touchdown, Effingham. Great catch, great run after the catch. Touchdown, Harts, and it's a 16-12 game. Well, heck, you only need one down. 3rd and 10. Let's go for the whole enchilada. And the Harts on a 75-yard touchdown pass from Nathan Vale to Logan Howell have scored again, and it's 16-12. And the Harts will try the extra point now. The score comes with 8:05 to go in the second quarter. Boy, that was pretty. You couldn't have thrown the ball better. And nice run after the catch. I knew once Logan got in the open field, there wasn't anybody going to catch him.
His man that was covering him was the only real detriment to him making it to the end zone, and that man left his feet, making it just a nice, easy dash into the end zone for 6 points.
So 16-12, and the Harts will kick for one here. Zach Miller to kick from Vale's hold. Again, 8:05 left now in the second quarter. Harts take their time. They got PBL to jump, and then the Harts moved, and let's see how this shakes out. If it's against PBL, the Harts may decide to go for 2. If this moves at halfway to the goal line, let's see what it is here. Procedure penalty offside on PBL. So the Harts should take the penalty. They'll get it about 1.5 yards from pay dirt. And they pick up. Yeah, they're going for 2 now.
Yeah, you see the new personnel coming in. 4 Harts come flying off the bench, and that's exactly what McDonald's got in mind here. Going to try to draw within 2 points here.
So the Harts run a whole host of kids out there. We see Zach Blumker out there. Caden Vaughn lines up down here at an end on the near side. Vale with nobody behind him in the backfield. Howell's there. Vale's going to run it. He's in for the 2-point conversion. And the Harts are back within 2. So PBL scores 16 straight, and the Harts answer with 14 of their own. And with 8:05 to go in the second quarter, it's Paxton Buckley Lotus 16, Effingham 14. Back with a kickoff in a minute on 97.9 XFM.
Got aches and pains from those football games? Stop by Andy's Health Mart Pharmacy and see what we can do for you. Ask one of our pharmacists about the products that can get you back into game shape. Locally owned and conveniently located at 805 West Fayette. Andy's Health Mart Pharmacy, caring for you and about you.
Pass plays and couldn't cash in. They went deep. A 75-yard completion from Nathan Vale to Logan Howell. The run for 2 by Vale was good, and the Harts are back within 16-14. And here's the kickoff, taken at the 20 and through the hands of the PBL player. Now he picks it back up, runs it to the middle, and somebody better tackle him, and they finally do, take him down, but out across the 45-yard line. Nice return out there by Zach Weisenburn. Cody Sinnott came up and made the stop for the Harts, but it's 1st and 10 for PBL at their 49-yard line. So a heck of a return by Weisenburn up the gut. But the Harts score on that 3-play 75-yard drive took 21 seconds off the clock. And with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, it's pretty much anybody's ball game. It's PBL 16, Harts 14. Now you need another stop. I'm greedy like that. Weston Weber, the PBL quarterback, up under center on 1st and 10. There's the handoff to the deep back, and he comes to the near side. That's Houtzel, and he gets into the Harts territory. And he's inside the 45, and Sinnott came over and got a piece of him again. And they'll score it at the Effingham 42. So from the PBL 49 to the Effingham 42, a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 1. No rain. Breeze has freshened a little, but so far a dry night here at Paxton. Paxton 102 miles on I-57 from the Effingham High School exit at Fayette Avenue. And we're hoping for a happy trip home. Weber up under center on 2nd and 1. There's the snap. He's going to keep it. Comes to the near side. There's another flag. We've had about 37 penalties so far tonight. And the Harts make a stop. It should be enough for a first down.
I would imagine it's coming back, though.
Principal stop by Andy Lustig for the Harts. Andy's had some good games at the lower levels, and he gets a tackle here on the varsity. I think you're right. This is going to be against PBL. It's a face mask, and it's against PBL.
Not one you see too frequently, a face masking call against the offensive team, but Effingham will take any kind of advantage they can get. Was it inadvertent? It was, so it's a 5-yard walk-off. Instead of a really nasty face mask, that's 15 yards. Does that sound good? Really nasty? So back to the 45 from the line. So a 2-yard gain on the play, Dustin, and then a 5-yard walk-off on the penalty back to the 45. So it is 2nd and 4 for the Panthers at the Harts 45-yard line. Weber up under center, as he's been throughout the game. There's the handoff to the up back. That's Hautzel, and he gets a little. But, boy, the Harts, much better reaction. I think he got the first down, though.
Number 70, Wilson.
Zach Wilson on the stop. Ball is at the 41, and now we've got another whistle. We're going to bring in the chains. They spotted at the 41-yard line. That should be enough for a first down, but they may have to bring in the chains. I don't know. Yep, they're going to call the chains in and see on a measurement whether or not PBL picked up that first down.
I'll tell you, Hautzel, for being the fullback, the up back and getting not a whole lot of head of steam built up before he takes the football, he builds up that speed in a hurry and really just plows people over. He's a powerful runner, and that's an easy first down. And
first down by the length of the football. So the Panthers, new set of downs, have it at the Harts 41-yard line. A gain of 4.
He accelerates quickly is what I would have said if I was a little quicker on my feet up here, but I had to sit there and think about what word it was I wanted to use. And
you were looking to accelerate.
Yes. I believe I popped the clutch and killed the engine is what I did.
The NASCAR's tomorrow night. All right, so 41-yard line. 1st and 10 here for PBL. They're in Harts territory. There's the handoff. Nope, he's going to keep it. Weber to the far side. A sweep. Decent yardage, but the Harts do string it out pretty well. Weber got it inside the 35-yard line. Brandon Loy went a long way on that stop, and Levi Michael helped as well. Football was advanced inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. So from the 41 to the 34, a gain of 7. It'll bring up the 2nd and 3. 6.5 to go in the second quarter. It's Paxton Buckley low to 16, Effingham 14, as the Harts have regained some momentum here, or generated some momentum in this second quarter, but PBL on the march again. So 2nd and a long 3 just inside the Harts 35-yard line. Weber pitches, and the Harts string it out pretty well, and now Schroet turns it up, and he's got good yardage, and he's still on his feet inside the 20-yard line. Hard to bring down.
That's tough because the initial contact was well behind the line of scrimmage. He just shook off a couple would-be tacklers, and next thing you know, he's piling up double-digit yardage on the play.
Matt Woltman again on the stop. We've talked about him a lot. Noah Hagan also in there helps for the Harts. First down to the 19 from the 34, Dustin, to the 19. A 15-yard gain there. That was a nice run.
That's 71 yards on 10 carries for Mr. Schroet.
And 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Here's the handoff to the quick back. That's Hautzel, the up back, and he gets it near the 10 before they run him out of bounds. Robinson helps on the stop, and Levi Michael again. Holy cow. He's been everywhere tonight. And it's advanced to the 12. 19 to the 12, a gain of 7. So 2nd and 3. Ball at the Harts 12-yard line. Boy, somebody's need to make a big defensive play here for the Harts. They had the momentum, and now PBL in the red zone. We'll have plenty to talk about on the halftime show. We invite you to stay with us, courtesy of Compass Advisory Group. Up under center again, Weber at the Harts 12 to give it to the up back, and he gets inside the 10. Hautzel carries. Boggs on the stop. Kai Harmon comes over to help. It is spotted at the 8-yard line. From the 12 to the 8, a gain of 4, Dustin. And first and goal to go at the Harts 8-yard line.
Panthers doing it almost exclusively on the ground. 19, 21, 27 running plays to 2 passing plays tonight.
So far it's been successful. Inside 5 minutes to go before halftime, and they're inside the Harts 10-yard line. Weber with a new set of downs. Goal to go here at the Harts 8. Taking his time here, and there's a whistle, and did they take too much time? Delay of game.
Delay of game against the
That's not something that will make your coach happy. Your goal to go at the 8, and you don't get the play called in time.
Yeah, I think we saw this going on at the other end of the field earlier in the game, and Effingham hopes that PBL will not be able to overcome it the way the Harts were able to overcome it in one of their possessions earlier this evening.
So goal to go, first and goal now at the 13-yard line of Effingham. Next week we go to Centralia. That'll end our 3-game road trip to start the season. 7 o'clock kickoff next Friday night. Hope to see you there. Weber, first and goal at the Harts 13. There's the snap. They give it up the gut, and a gain to about the 10. Gain of 3 for Hautzel. Hautzel to the 10, a gain of 3, so it's second and goal at the 10. 16-14 PBL. They scored the first 16. The Harts have scored the next 14. 4:20 to go before halftime. Illinois opens tomorrow. The Tim Beckman era will begin. Eastern beat Southern last night at dandy, 42-28. Here it's second and goal at the Harts 10-yard line. There's the handoff. It's Schroet. Boy, he gets a lot of momentum. He's inside the 5 before they finally stop him. Travis Durbin's there on the stop for the Harts.
Got to tell you, Greg, it was actually 49-28, the Eastern game, and the reason I know that is because they set a school record with 7 passing touchdowns in the game.
Thank you. That is right. I had that a little later today. 7 passing touchdowns.
And 2 of those touchdowns were thrown by position players other than quarterback.
In fact, including the first one. To the 4, it's third and goal at the 4, so that was a gain of 9 there. And it's in for the touchdown. Hautzel steamrollered it in for the score. Went off the left tackle and exploded into the end zone, and it's a touchdown PBL. Score comes with 3:23 to go in the second quarter on a 4-yard touchdown run by Jesse Hautzel. And now they'll try the conversion. So it's 22-14, back to an 8-point lead for the Panthers. They line up for 2 with an unbalanced line. Now they shift. Harts have seen this a million times. They do it. And they're going to kick now. So Weber to hold. Wilson to kick. Good snap. Placement. Kick. It's up, and it is good. 23-14. PBL converts. Touchdown puts them back up by 9. 3:23 to go before halftime. It's Paxton Buckley Loda 23, Effingham 14. Friday Night Football here on 97.9 XFM. We can just check the color weather radar at 97.9 XFM and .com, and it indicates that the rain is in Illinois, but it's moving north, directly north, and to the west of us. So Dustin White may be the prognosticator of the year, as he said it wasn't going to rain tonight. 10 plays, 51 yards, a 4:42 drive, highlighted by the 4-yard touchdown run by Hautzel. Miller's kick was good, and PBL's back in front by 9 over Effingham, 23-14, and here's the kickoff. It's fielded by nobody. Now Caden Vaughn picks it up inside the 20, get him a block to the 30, and out across the 30 before they take him down. So about a 15-yard return there for Caden Vaughn. Out across the 30-yard line. The Harts will get it first and 10 at their 32-yard line. So 23-14 PBL. 3:16 to go, and Dustin, that's plenty of time to score.
Absolutely. Just keep building on some of the positive things you've done in this second quarter, and try to climb back within I don't know, 2 points here at halftime.
I still think that the Harts have to get that ground game established. They've not had much success. Jordan Tunn out over center. as the Harts offense sets up. From the shotgun, failed to throw. It is underthrown. Drew Levitt was the intended receiver, but it never got to him. And it's 2nd and 10. Clock stops with 3:12 to go in the second quarter. Next week we go to Centralia to take on those Orphans. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. We used to play Centralia, did for several years in fact, and then they built a $30 million high school, and we haven't played there yet.
And Centralia had a real long stretch of winless seasons there, but Ray Calling came in from Breeze Mater Dei, and next thing you know, he got him competent one year and then a playoff team the following year, and it's going to be a dandy game.
2nd and 10, Harts at their 32-yard line. Back to throw, Nathan Bale. Scrambling, they're after him, and down he goes. Big loss inside the 25-yard line. Didn't have that much time. Tell me again.
Will Bowman was the young man that got in the backfield and dragged him down. That's a big loss there.
To the 25 from the 32 to the 25, so it's 3rd and 17. But a 75-yard touchdown pass will eliminate that. So let's see what happens here on 3rd and long. Clock stops with 2:40. I'm sorry, clock does not stop. And the Harts set it up.
Effingham's running game has seen them lose 13 yards. They've gained 133 through the air, most of that on one play.
All right, Harts with the ball at their 25. There's the snap. Bale to throw. A little more time. Goes across the middle, and he overthrows it. And that'll bring up 4th down. Better coverage that time by PBL on that series. Howell was the intended receiver. They'd sent him out here to the near side, and ball overthrown, and that stops the clock with 2:17, but it brings up a 4th and 17. The Harts are going to have to punt it away.
He led Howell just a little bit too far there and could not wrangle it, so now you got a punt from pretty deep in your own territory. See what Zach Miller can do here to try and shift field position a little bit.
PBL with another opportunity for great field position here if the Harts don't execute well. Zach Miller kicks extra points, does the kickoffs, does the punts. He's the man with a foot, and now we have a penalty. And, or do we have a timeout? Timeout Harts. Timeout Effingham. 2:17 to go. Back with the punt in a moment here. It's 23-17 PBL. Back in a minute on 97.9 XFM. 17 to go. The Harts called time there just before they get this punt away, and let's see what happens here. Zach Miller back to punt for the Harts. Harts trail by 9. A lot of time. Miller gets it away. Good kick up the middle. Hits inside the 50, now inside the 40. It's picked up by PBL, and quickly the man's taken down. Nice work by Travis Durbin getting back there on special teams. Ball was picked up by Josh Hopkins for PBL, and Durbin, a nice job of getting down there and cutting his legs out from under him, and no return basically. And PBL is going to get it 1st and 10 at their 41, and I tell you what, it could have been a lot worse, Dustin.
That's a 41-yard punt there for Zach Miller, and yeah, Hopkins had he had a little bit of room to operate there.
Yes, sir.
And basically one man could keep that from getting to at least midfield, and that's exactly what happened. So a good deal for the Harts.
Nice job by Travis Durbin. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their 41. How many timeouts they have left? One?
I believe one each.
So 2:08 left before halftime. PBL in front of the Harts, 23-14. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on this weekend, although it's obviously weather and grounds permitting. We'll talk about that on the local schedule. Brian will have all the scores for us, Dustin stats, and I'll recap the scoring. It's all on the way on the postgame, on the halftime show, brought to you by Compass Advisory Group. Back to throw. Weber coming to the near side, picked off. Yes, come on, Marcus. Marcus Robinson had it on his hands 3 times and couldn't gather it in. Ball falls incomplete. He and Woltman were both there and couldn't get it pulled in. Oh, golly. Had it on his hands 3 times. Oh, man. One of our sophomores out there, Marcus Robinson. I'm just hoping he gets another opportunity like that.
A little bit of a juggling routine there along the left sideline, and just could not quite wrangle it in. That's too bad for Effingham, because that would have been good field position. It's still 2 minutes to operate, but maybe they can still get a takeaway here before halftime.
2:01 to go before halftime, 2nd and 10. PBL tries it again. They run it this time, and there's Houtzel. Somebody tackle that man. He keeps running over people, and nobody can stop him, and he's still on his feet inside the Harts 30-yard line.
That is just that's an impressive run for Houtzel. I don't know what else to say. There were a number of opportunities to bring him down, And he just doesn't quit. He just ran somebody over on that play and moved it all the way to the 28.
That was a tremendous run to the Harts' 28-yard line. So all the way from their 41 to Effingham's 28. That's a 20. That's more than that. 37-yard run. 37-yard run. Or excuse me, 31-yard run to the Harts' 28. First and 10, obviously. They run it up the gut this time. Hautzel's on a roll, so they give it to him again, and he gets it inside the Harts' 25. So from the now really late flag in the backfield, what's that about? We got one PBL guy back there with about 8 Harts. What's going on there?
I don't know, but while they sort that out, I mean, you saw a near interception on only the third passing play of the game for PBL, and then a
personal foul on the Harts, personal foul on PBL. It goes both ways.
Like I was saying, after that big run, I don't expect the Panthers to go to the air again here before halftime. Yeah, offsetting penalties there, so keep the ball where it's at, but just more personal fouls, not something you're accustomed to seeing.
So from the 28 to the 23, a gain of 5. And a minute 25 to go before halftime. PBL in front of the Harts, 23-14. 2nd and 5 at Effingham's 23-yard line. Boy, you'd love them to keep them out of here before halftime. Need a stop. Handoff, Schroet. Harts stuff it. Nice work. Good work. Caden Vaughn's in there on defense. They've got Zach Miller in there, Zach Wilson again. So Zach squared there on that stop. Nice work by the Harts, and it's no gain. So they lose it down essentially on the play at 3rd and 5 now. Still at Effingham's 23-yard line, and now we're under a minute to play before halftime. So things shaping up a little better here. Again, I believe, one timeout remaining. So let's see what they do here. So 3rd and 5 of the Harts' 23. Takes his time. Weber, there's the handoff. They get it to Hautzel. He's loose again, and he's inside the 15 before they take him down, and that's plenty enough for a first down. So Hautzel gets the first. Woltman in there on the stop for the Harts. Ball's advanced to the 14-yard line from the 23 to the 14, a gain of 9, and that's plenty enough for a new set of downs. And now 27 seconds remaining before halftime, but they have the ball to the Harts' 14-yard line. They're going to have to hurry it up a little here. 21 seconds left. At the Harts' 14, there's the handoff. It's Hautzel, and the Harts do a good job of slowing him down. As they get a couple of big boys. Evan Boggs is in there on that stop for the Harts, and he takes up some space out there. And timeout here for PBL with 14 seconds left. The ball is spotted. Not yet. It is spotted at the 14. So no gain. So 2nd and 10.
And I would imagine that given what we've seen, that the timeout may be for them to get the clock stopped and get the kicking play set up for Mr. Jonah Wilson. Their sophomore kicker has already knocked down 130. How long was the field goal?
36.
36 yards. That's what I was going to say. I should have just gone with it, but so he's within range here.
Absolutely he is. You'd assume the ball be spotted about the 20, so it'd be a 30-yarder.
It's just not something we're used to talking about much in the high school game, though, Greg. I mean, you'll go half a season, a whole season without seeing someone attempt a field goal. At least, in the Apollo Conference, what we're used to seeing, come up and face an unfamiliar opponent, and you see something that you've never really seen.
Todd Venters, the Harts defensive coordinator, out there on that timeout. And let's see what the Harts can do here. Again, it's 2nd and 10. PBL at Effingham's 14-yard line with 14 seconds left, and they're going to run one more play. Let's see what happens here. Weber up under center as he had been entire half. There's the snap. He's going to keep. He rolls to the near side. Somebody better tackle him, and they run him out of bounds outside the 5. Clock stops with 9 seconds to go. As they keep an eye on him, he's out at about the 7. So from the 14 to the 7, a gain of 7, Dustin. And the clock stops with 9 seconds to go as they have a 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 at the Harts' 7-yard line with 9 seconds left.
So it still leaves the field goal as a possibility if they run it to the outside again. I mean, if they get out of bounds before they get to the goal line, they still have a chance to do that. So,
or let's not let them get out. Let's not let them get out of bounds. What do you say?
How about it?
They're going to go for it. There's the pitch to Schroet. He's to the 5, and then Harts tackle him, and he stood in play, and yes, they say keep that clock going. Good work by Cody Sennett for the Harts. Let the clock run down, and the Harts post the stop. There you go. And it's a 9-point ball game as the teams go to the locker room, and there's something to build on for the second half. PBL decided to go for it, couldn't get it in, and the Harts are still within 9 at halftime. On the way, the halftime show brought your way by Compass Advisory Group at the half here at Paxton. It's PBL 23, Harts 14. Post the halftime show on the way in a minute here on 97.9 XFM.
Making someone's day a little brighter or making them smile is as easy as a phone call to K&M Floral Shop or visit them online at knmfloralshop.com. K&M is a proud sponsor of Harts football. Go Harts!
Concern was, for me, in the first quarter, that it looked like PBL was pretty much doing whatever they wanted. The Harts did stop that. They scored twice in a row and got back within 2. Well, now it's a 23-14 game after PBL scored again. But I like the stop right before halftime. I thought that might have given the Harts a little boost heading into the locker room.
And I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that PBL didn't take the 3 points that they could have gotten there on that possession, because they've shown that they've got a field goal game. You know, they've got a little bit of a kicking game. Instead, they tried to get that touchdown, kind of maybe go for the jugular, and it didn't work out. Maybe Effingham can capitalize on that decision.
Next week, we're at Centralia. Play the Orphans at their new facility. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. You can hear it on 97.9 XFM and 97.9XFM.com. Some of you, I know, went to the old place with us for a few years. We played Centralia for several seasons, and now we've had several seasons off, but they're back on the schedule next Friday night at 7 o'clock. So the Harts will get the ball to begin things, and Logan Howell is the deep back here, back about the 10-yard line. Here's Miller's kick. We got a Miller kicking for both teams, and it's taken by the up back. The Harts get it inside the 30, and nice return by Carter Hayes as he takes it out to the 40-yard line. Dustin's had a chance to see Carter play a little baseball, but now he's playing some pretty good football tonight. So he gets it out to the 39-yard line, and that's where the Harts will start this second half.
Kind of a, Logan or Jonah Wilson, the kicker for PBL, he's shown good leg on those field goal attempts, but on the kickoffs, he really has not opted to ever try to go deep. It's always been an angle kick, or that time trying to roll it up the middle.
That's right. I'm sorry. I said Miller. Wilson. Jonah Wilson is the kicker. Harts bring off one offensive line player, and now Zach Wilson returns to the fray, so I think we're ready now. From the shotgun, Bale's going to keep, and he gets to the 40 before they take him down. Nathan hasn't carried the ball yet tonight, had he?
That is that's his first actual carry. He has credit for one since he took a sack, but yes, that's the first time they've called his number on a running play.
So he got a yard from the 39 to the 40, and it's 2nd and 9. That was the first play of the second half. It's 23-14, Paxton Buckley Loda leading Effingham by 9. Still no rain here at Paxton, and we're into the second half. We're high atop the press box under our trusty tent. It's worked out pretty well so far. Snap to Bale, going to throw out in the flats. It's caught and dropped by Marcus Robinson. That stops clock with 11-11, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 9. Robbie tried to turn it up before he had it tucked in, and pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, I think he had the next step planned before he completed the previous one, and that's too bad, because that would have set Effingham up with a pretty manageable 3rd and short. Possibly, if he breaks a tackle, a first down. Instead, now you're looking at 3rd and 9.
So let's see how the Harts respond. Bale again from the shotgun. High snap. They try to get it on the flea flicker. They give it finally to Robinson. He's going to run it out of trouble. He turns it up, and he's got a pretty good gain going, and he got near a first down. There is a flag.
There's a flag.
Our 14th flag of the night. And that might not be far off from being right.
And
let's see what that is. Probably a hold.
Yeah, that end-around play took a long time to develop, as that play always does.
It is a hold, and it's on the Harts.
And you have a higher potential for holding whenever a play is slow developing like that.
So they tried the double reverse. It got a little yardage, but it is a hold on the Harts. So a 10-yard walk-off on a hold. The flag thrown at the 44, so that'll run it back to the 34. So now from the 34, the Harts have third and a bundle. More room to work. 3rd and 15, we'll call it, at Effingham's 34-yard line. Just into the third quarter, Harts trying to get a first down here to get a little mo going. Snap to Vale, fakes, now he throws deep. He's got a man there. It's Robinson, and he can't get there. Overthrew him. Pass falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Put a lot of air underneath it, just giving Robinson a chance to beat his man down the field, but led him way too far. And Robinson, I don't know if he's got a little bit of a
little gimpy.
Yeah, he's come up a little bit lame on that play, I believe. Looks like he's got a little bit of a hitch in his step.
Weston Weber, the defender, you do wonder at a certain point, because a lot of kids for PBL are playing both ways, you do wonder if the Harts can keep it close, whether the fatigue factor might play a part in things. Let's see.
Yeah, we talked about numbers being an advantage in the pregame. So far, that hasn't been bared out.
Zach Miller back to punt, and yet another flag. Let's see what this one's about.
Illegal procedure against Effingham.
Harts, a procedure penalty. That'll run it back 5 more yards. I haven't done an exhaustive study, and somebody looking for a senior thesis or something might want to do this. It's my contention that you get a whole lot more penalties your second game of the season than your first game. I don't know why that seems to be, but in the years I've watched football, it always seems as if you get more penalties the second game. I don't know why, but I think this game's bearing it out. Miller going to try to punt again. Gets it away off the end of his foot. It hits about midfield. Goes out of bounds. Actually, it's going to stay in Effingham territory. Wow. Not good news for the Harts, as PBL's going to have really good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, Miller had a really nice 41-yard punt his first time around. This one only going to net him 26 and gives PBL the football in Effingham territory.
So 1st and 10 for PBL at the Harts' 45-yard line. They'll start this drive with 10:35 remaining in the third quarter. PBL leading the Harts 23-14. Harts still right in this ball game, but defense needs to make another big stand here. Changing a lot of personnel up front. Now they're set. And I think somebody might have flinched for PBL this time. Yep, saw somebody on the line move. And that's a 5-yard walk-off on the Panthers.
Yeah, so 8 Effingham penalties this evening, and that makes 6 for the Panthers. A lot of flags out on the field, as you've mentioned a time or two already.
So the 5-yard walk-off pushes the ball back to midfield. So it's 1st and 15 for the Panthers to start this drive right at the midfield stripe. They had it up 16-0. Harts made it 16-14. PBL scored one more touchdown. They lead at 23-14 here in the third quarter. No scoring so far in the first minute and a half of this second half. So 1st and 15, the ball right at the midfield stripe for PBL. Weber gets the snap, goes to the deep back, and the Harts do a nice job of stringing it out. No gain, in fact, maybe a loss. Schroed hadn't carried for a while. Drew Schroed is stopped for a loss, and he's a little slow getting up.
He gets a little help from a teammate, and he looks a little like he might be a little woozy.
I think he is. Now he's on his feet, but boy, he stops to get his breath. I think they're going to have to take him out.
He so far hasn't made a move to come off the field.
But they're bringing someone in for him. They stop the clock. He is checking the parts. He's kind of walking sideways. If you've seen the Water Olympics at EHS after you do the dizzy bat thing, that's kind of how he's walking, but he is walking off the field now. They sent number 24. That's
Cody Coates.
Cody Coates heading into the football game to replace Schroed. He's still on his feet over here on the sidelines, but got his bell rung pretty good. Noah Hagan, by the way, got credit for the stop for the Harts, so FYI on that. So a 1-yard loss, so it's 2nd and 16 back at the PBL 49. Weber up under center. There's the snap. They give it up. They got the Hautzel, and that time the Harts stayed home, and they don't let him get away. He still turns it into a gain, but gang tackling did the job there. Hautzel carried, and the Harts, with a whole lot of people concentrating on him, led by Cole Moran, made the stop. The ball to the 46. That's a gain of 5. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 11. So a 5-yard gain, but 3rd and 11 here. And the Harts defense stiffens here. Boy, I'd love to get a 3 and out here. get a little momentum going. Weber, as he has all night, moves up under center on 3rd and long. Some movement on the line.
Yep.
That should be a walk-off on PBL, and it is. Somebody jumped over here on the left side, a guard or a tackle. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. And it's back into PBL territory, back to the 49. Now, so there goes that 5 yards that Hautzel just gained. And it's 3rd and 16.
Key situation for the Effingham defense. It's not too early to start saying things like that, I don't think.
Harts are deciding who's going to be out there, and we got all kinds of our negotiations going. Got to get somebody off the field. They don't get this play snapped. Was Boggs off the field or not? Timeout, Effingham. Boy, they're going to burn a timeout because they couldn't get the right people out on the field. Well, all right. So the Harts didn't want to get the penalty. They burn a timeout, and that leaves them with 2. Timeout, Harts. Let's take a 30-second break, Brian. 8:52 to go, 3rd quarter. It's PBL 23, Effingham 14 here on 97.9 XFM.
Making someone's day a little brighter or making them smile is as easy as a phone call to K&M Floral Shop or visit them online at knmfloralshop.com. K&M is a proud sponsor of Harts football. Go Harts!
All right, timeout. With 8:52 to go here in the 3rd quarter, the Harts called time. Let's see what happens here. 3rd and 16. Harts need a big stop here. 23-15 PBL. Weber, 3rd and 16, looking for somebody to hand off to. They do it, and the Harts with a nice stop. They went to the Will McClure, and Levi Michael steps up and makes a heck of a stop. They might have got a couple, but they sure didn't get 16, and that'll bring up 4th down. Nice work. They went to that wingback, Will McClure, and I think a wonder part of that's because Schroed is still a little woozy on the sidelines. And Michael stepped up, made a nice tackle.
Yeah, Schroed seems like the kind of guy who would get the ball in that situation, and instead they're gonna have to punt.
So a 4-yard gain for the youngster there, and here's the punt from about the 40, and it's a new kid in there to punt, and the Harts end up with the ball a little deeper than I'd hoped, inside the 20-yard line by the time everybody gets away with it. And they had to send in Zach Weisenbarn to punt, and it's inside the 20-yard line at the 17-yard line. So the punt ends up about a 35, 38-yarder.
30 net yards plus the distance of the snap, so he kicked it about 38 yards in the air.
So 1st and 10 at the 17. Harts hold. That's the bottom line there. 23-14 PBL. Let's see what the Harts can do on offense here. 8:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still a long way to go in this one. Harts looking to get their first win of this young season. From the shotgun, Vale, another high snap. They're going to throw again. They got a man there. They got a man for PBL there, and it goes incomplete. The man who was intended to receive that ball was Dylan Wolf, who's a backup quarterback for the Harts, as well as a receiver, and the ball just wasn't there.
Just over his head, couldn't quite get up to reach it, and pretty good coverage, honestly, from the Panthers. Vale now 4 out of 14 passing. His last 5 attempts have fallen incomplete.
Incomplete pass, stops clock with 7:58, brings up a 2nd and 10, and the Harts are going to run it, and good blocking, but not a whole lot of yardage as they give it to Logan Howell. He gets it out across the 15. Might have got most of the, let's see here, to the 20? No. They will eventually spot the football at the 19. So from the 17 to the 19, just a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 8. Harts just have to get something established on the ground. Another high snap. Vale wants to throw, and they sack him. Nathan Vale dropped back inside the 10-yard line, and they take him down. Back to the 10-yard line. That is a loss of 9. And that'll bring up 4th and 17 from our own 10-yard line. And the Harts are going to depend on Zach Miller to come up with a heck of a punt right here.
But even his best punt You'd be lucky if PBL starts this drive outside Effingham territory.
So let's see what happens here. On 4th and 17, Zach right about at the goal line here. Gets the snap, gets it away. Good, strong kick here to the near side of the field, out across the 45, into PBL territory. Heck of a punt by Zach Miller. Boy, does that help the Harts cause. PBL will still have good field position, but boy, did he get his foot into that one, and the nose of the football just shy of PBL's 48-yard line. Officially, that was from the 10, but he kicked that football 40. They're going to mark it at the 47, 43 yards, and man, was that what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, 43-yard punt from his end zone, so add another 10 to the actual distance that it was kicked. Zach Miller did exactly what you need your punter to do, just switch that field position around a little bit.
It was just outside the end zone when he got it away and kicks it to the PBL 47-yard line. So that helps. At least that blunts some of the momentum that I thought they were going to get from their field position. They run it up the middle and get it into PBL territory. Houtzel carried. He's not quite doing as well as he did earlier tonight. Noah Hagan, we talked about him, or that's Travis Durbin coming over to help, along with Levi Michael on that stop for the Harts, and it's to the Effingham 49. So from their 47 to our 49, a gain of 4, and it's 2nd and 6. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. We're at Paxton, Illinois. PBL, the Panthers. First time we've ever played them in the history of Effingham High School football. Weston Weber's their quarterback. He's up under center as he's been all night. The Harts jump. Let's see if they were drawn off. I'm thinking no. I'm glad to be wrong if I am.
Dead ball outside.
Dead ball offsides on Harts. 5-yard walk-off.
Walk-off to the 44-yard line.
So that'll move it from Effingham's 49 to the 44, a gain of 5 on that penalty, and that'll make it 2nd and 2. They don't really need much help.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It turns it into a short yardage situation where you have 2 plays to gain a couple yards, and really opens up the playbook for the Panthers.
So 2nd and 2 at Effingham's 44. Weber with a snap. Now there's something wrong. There. The center, you saw his hind end come up, and I think that caused some other people to jump, and it is a procedure penalty on PBL. Yeah, you could see that. Before the snap, the center jumped. So back to the 49. There's a little path on the field right there at the hash marks where the ball is moved back and forth here. Next week we go to Centralia. 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have it for you on 97.9 XFM and 97.9XFM.com. The Harts and the Orphans. Holy cow, we had some games with them in sports through the years. The answer is, yeah, buddy. 2nd and 7 now. Still at the 49-yard line. And now we got another man offside. PBL made a count that time. They had a guy shoot the gap and ran about 5 yards.
Yeah.
It'll still just be 5, but
took on a blocker and everything. Just made sure he got his money's worth on the play.
That was enthusiastic. So now it's back to the PBL 46. We may get a safety out of this.
I would be really enthusiastic, Greg, if we could get a play run here. We've been sitting here for the last 5 minutes or so, and no actual football's been played.
Air continues to freshen here at Paxton, doesn't it? Another 5-yard walk-off back to the PBL 46. Now it's 2nd and 12. Let's see what happens here. Weber up under center. He's going to keep, turns it, moves toward the mid part of the field. Another flag. He gets into Effingham territory. Travis Durbin, another stop for Effingham. Good thing he didn't miss the bus. Let's see what happens on the play, though. The flag's thrown at about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm not sure who to think this is going to go against.
Crack back block on PBL.
Yeah, a little chop block action there. That's not one you see called very often either, but we will definitely take it.
So that's going to push it back even more. Levi Michael, representing the Harts co-captains, being visited by the official. Levi says, yeah, we want to push him back. Nope, they're going to wave it off. He says 3rd and 12 looks, or 3rd and 12 looks pretty good to the Harts. So Levi says, forget it.
Well, it's actually
going to 3rd and 6 because of the play. Sorry. So the play stands. Sorry, Dustin. You're right.
I'm with it.
Play stands, so it moves it into Harts territory at the 49, and it's 3rd and 6. And the Harts, and Weber's going to throw, and he's got a man there, and they caught him. That's a first down to the 25-yard line. Well, they waited for the right time to throw. And it was a pretty pass play.
Covers 22 yards, first down.
And the receiver for PBL was number 27, Trent Wooten. And it's a gain to the Effingham 26-yard line. So from the 46 to the 26, correct?
Yes.
Gain of 20. And a first down. So they got out of jail there. They fake the handoff, then they fake to the second man, and he got it, and then he got it. Nice defense by the Harts that time. Evan Boggs stays home. He put a lick on Council that time. Travis Durbin again in there on the stop. Gain of 1 to the 25 at 2nd and 9.
That first down was the first one for either team here in the second half.
Well, we've been too busy with penalties. Man.
It's been a long 8 minutes. I mean, PBL had a 7+ minute drive in the first half that probably took about a third this long to...
Yep. 2nd and 9 at the Harts 25. Weber gets the snap. Handoff to the deep back. That's Houtzel, and down he goes. Levi Michael. Getting a little fire under him, man. He's had a good game. Durbin helps too. And Zach Miller's in there on the stop too. So gain of 2 to the 23, and it's 3rd and 7 now.
4 carries for 10 yards in the second half for Jesse Houtzel after a 15-carry, 114-yard performance in the first half. They've done a nice job of containing him so far.
But here we are at 3rd down, and let's see what happens. Their quarterback up under center, rolling to the near side. Now he's going to throw across the middle. It is caught. I think that the Harts pick it off. No, it's... Oh, I thought Dirk Levitt came up with the ball for the Harts. They call it incomplete. He tried to sell the call. It's called incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Levitt must have played that one on a short hop because it looked like he was going to have a chance. Regardless, big stop for the Harts here. We'll see what... I guess it's not a stop yet, but...
yeah, 4th down, 7 to go. They're at the Harts 23. This would be about a 40-yard field goal try.
They're not going to try that.
So they're going for it. 4th and 7 at Effingham's 23-yard line. Up under center, Mr. Weber. There's the snap he's going to keep, and the Harts take him down. Nice work. There's Levi Michael again. Big tackle. As Weber tried to keep it, came to the near side. Levi Michael and the Harts are happy. And the Harts get the football on the exchange of downs. So 1st and 10 for the Harts at the 21, and that defense has picked it up here after some early missteps. And they get the stop, and it's Harts football, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Still 23-14, still anybody's game. 2:49 to go in the 3rd quarter here at Paxton. Harts huddle on the sidelines here quickly before the change of possession. And let's see what happens now after the defense gets the big stop, how the offense responds. Nate Vale from the shotgun on 1st and 10. They bring Howell in motion. They're going to bring Vale to the near side, get him a block, and he gets it out across the 25. Man, if the Harts could have got him a block here on the near side, he'd have gone a long way. Zach Blumker tried to get out there and help. Vale got some yardage. Boy, that could have been big.
Yeah, Blumker was trying, but I'll tell you, his man that he was trying to block was game, and they just kept going back and forth with each other. Nice defense there.
Out across the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5 at 2nd and 5, though, and that might be the biggest gain the Harts have had on offense all night. Vale's checking the sideline saying, what am I supposed to do here? Harts have already burned one timeout. They send Hal in motion. He gets the handoff. He's going to the far side. He's got some speed up. He's got a 1st down. He's out across the 40. He's out to the 45-yard line. 1st down, Effingham. Well, for a play that looked like it was going to be busted, it ends up great. And now a flag thrown on the Harts sideline after the end of the play. The ball is at the 45. That'd be a gain of 19 yards. But what's the flag about? Let's see what the flag's about. After a 19-yard gain there for Logan Howell for the Harts on offense, Coach McDonald doesn't look happy. They're going to bring it to the middle of the field. And they're going to walk it off.
Personal foul.
Another personal foul. Is that the third one?
Yes, because there were offsetting personal fouls, and then of course the one in the first half that was pretty costly, and this one here, yeah, 3 personal fouls tonight.
So from the 45 back to the 30.
So do they?
All right, so the ball was advanced to the 45 as a 19-yard gain, and then the personal foul occurred. So it's a 19-yard gain, and then the 15-yard penalty back to the 30. Bale's going to throw here. He's got a man there. He gets pulled down, and the ball falls incomplete. Did I not see the man grab his uniform?
Pass from Bale.
I guess they say it was anybody's ball or nobody's ball. It went out of bounds. Zach Blumker slowly getting up here.
There's been a lot of contact on pretty much every passing play this evening, and most of it has been let go.
So the pass is incomplete, stops the clock with 1:53 to go in the third quarter, brings up a 2nd and 10. Yeah, they'd had a 19-yard gain on that previous play from the 26 to the 45, and then a 15-yard personal foul ran it back to the 30. So Howell got the gain, and then the Harts got the penalty, and now the incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:53 to go in this third quarter. Harts trail by 9. Bale from the shotgun again. Gives it up the middle this time, and boy, they were waiting. They were waiting. As the Hart running back, that's Zach Miller.
Another flag on the play. Another flag out there.
Went down in a heap in the middle of the field.
There's a flag on the play.
And now we'll see what this flag's about. This, I don't know what the record is for fouls, but this may be setting it. Holding on the Harts.
That's 5 penalties in the second half, a total of 11 against the Harts.
Flags thrown right at the line of scrimmage, the 30-yard line. So they'll walk it off 10 from there. So back to the 20. That'll make it 2nd and 20. 2nd and 20 for the Harts. And now they moved it back to the 19. I'm confused.
A total of 20 penalties on the evening against both teams. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Flag was thrown at the 30, and we lost 11 yards on that. Back to the 19. The 2nd and 21. Anyway, Bale checking the sidelines, looking for the play. Barking it out. Hope we get the play off. Man in motion. Coming to the near side. There's the handoff, and they upend him for a loss. Well, it took an hour for the play to go. Zach Miller got the play, and then somebody shot the gap for PBL and upended him. So Schroed, who's feeling better, back in there on defense, and he makes a big stop, taking Zach Miller's feet out from under him, and that knocks the ball back to the 13-yard line. So that's a loss of 6. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 26. It isn't going well this series, folks. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Harts still just down 9, but man, are they their own worst enemy. Bale tries it again. On 3rd and a load, he's going to run. He's got a lot of room up the middle of the field. One man to beat, and he got tripped up, and yet another flag.
Tripped up by Houtsell.
He got it out to the 20, and obviously the PBL sideline thinking it's on Effingham, saying, heck no, we don't want this penalty. Wave it off.
Probably holding.
Well, that's been the flavor of the night. It is a hold. Another 10 yards. I'm pretty sure PBL wants to wave it off, and they do, because that brings up 4th down. So,
bringing up a 4th down and 20.
Play ends up from the 25 back to the, help me out here, back to the 19. So we're back to the line of scrimmage. Was there no gain on that?
No, it was a 5-yard gain. It was a 5-yard gain.
To the 19? I guess we were back to the 14. Sorry to keep track. The punt by Miller to the 40, and it goes out of bounds right about Effingham's 40-yard line. Couldn't quite get as much foot on that one as that previous punt. So PBL's going to end up with the ball 1st and 10 at Effingham's 40-yard line. So from the 19 to the 40, a 21-yard punt. And PBL in great field position here, 1st and 10 at Effingham's 40-yard line. Still 23-14. but that momentum, Dustin, that the Harts might have built up, starting to wane.
Yeah, I'm not feeling much of it right now. I mean, a big stop here or perhaps a takeaway would help a lot. I mean, it's still just a 9-point game, but you spend an entire quarter not making any progress.
So 1st and 10 for PBL at Effingham's 40. 23-14, Paxton Buckley Loda leading the Harts. There's the snap. They give it up the gut. That's Hautzel, and he gets a little bit of progress. Durbin's in there again. Noah Hagan helps. Boy, I'm calling the same kids on these tackles.
Forward for a 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6.
From the 40 to the 36, a gain of 4. It'll be a 2nd and 6, and that is the final play of our 3rd quarter. After 3 here at Paxton, it's Paxton Buckley Loda 23, Effingham 14. 4th quarter on the way in a minute here on 97.9 XFM.
When it comes to vehicles that get over 30 miles per gallon, we have a lineup the competition just can't touch. At Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, South Route 45 in Effingham. Shop 24/7 online at danheck.com. Go Harts!
97.9 XFM, WXEF in Effingham, ready for the 4th quarter of our action here tonight at Paxton, Illinois. Paxton Buckley Loda leading Effingham 23-14 as we start our 4th quarter. It's 2nd and 6 for Paxton Buckley Loda at the Effingham 44-yard line. At their 36-yard line. Here's the handoff. It's Hautzel. He's open up the middle. He's got a nice gain going. Still on his feet near the 20-yard line before they finally take him down. There were 2 times, Dustin, when I thought he was done, and he still kept driving.
You're telling the guy that had already turned around to start writing on his piece of paper, figuring the play was done, and I hear you say he's still on his feet, but yet I shouldn't be surprised because that's the way Hautzel runs the football. He's a bull in the china shop out there.
From the 34 to the 22, a gain of 12. And the new set of downs here for PBL.
Hautzel flirting with 200 yards rushing. Now he's up to 190.
1st and 10 at Effingham's 22-yard line.
I take that back.
There's the up back. Hautzel gets it again, gets it inside the 20 to the 18. Levi Michael is there again. Evan Boggs helped on that stop. Zach Wilson gets his nose in there. 4-yard gain to the 18, 2nd and 6.
My 2s look like 7s on my writing here, so he's actually only about at the 140 instead of the 150 mark.
Put that old school line through your 7s?
Yeah, I should, I guess.
11 minutes left in this one. 23-14. How long have I said that? Since early, halfway through the 2nd quarter, it's been 23-14. Handoff to Hautzel again. Nice hole on the left side, and he gets it inside the 15. Cody Sennett came up, helped on the stop. 3rd and 1 as he advances the ball from the 18 to the 13, gain of 5. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 at the Harts 13-yard line.
You got to think Paxton's really smelling a little blood in the water here. They're just knocking on the door of the end zone. I mean, inside the 15, the 3rd and short situation here. If they score a touchdown, it's just going to be hard for Effingham to be able to climb back in it.
All right, 3rd and 1. Here's the handoff. They run it up the gut, and he might not have got it. Hautzel blowed straight ahead. I don't know whether he got it. He did get it. Zach Wilson in there in front of things for the Harts. It wasn't Hautzel that carried. Will McClure, did he say carried?
5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Anyway, it's a 1st down. Bottom line, 13 to the 11, Dustin, a gain of 2. Give it to Hautzel. He's working hardest.
I thought it might have been him. It was kind of a muddled mess there, though, on that play.
1st down. They have the ball to the Harts 11. Up the gut. Man's loose. That's Weber, the quarterback, and he's in for the touchdown. Boy, they ran it up the middle. They faked Will McClure up the middle. And I bid on it, and some of the Harts did too. Meanwhile, Weston Weber kept the football, and he ran it in for a score. Touchdown PBL, an 11-yard touchdown run for the Panther quarterback. It comes with 9:26 left in regulation. And PBL has extended the lead back to 15. It's 29-14. And that's big. Harts had held them at bay all the second half. And in fact, the last score in this game had come with 3:23 to go in the second quarter. Now they score with 9:26 left. They'll try the extra point. There's the placement. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 30-14 PBL. 9:26 left in this one. Kickoff on the way in a minute here on 97.9 XFM. Here's the drive. It went 6 plays, 40 yards, took 2:59 off the clock, highlighted by the 11-yard touchdown run by the Panther quarterback, Weston Weber. The kick was good by Wilson, and it's now 30-14. So PBL with a 16-point lead. The Harts have only scored 14 in the game. You know what I'm talking about here with 9:26 to go in the game. Harts better do something special really quickly here.
Yeah, quickly would be the key word there. They're just running out of time.
Well, that third quarter was just not pretty. Here's the kick. Low line drive, fielded on the hop nicely by Caden Vaughn. Cuts back, gets it out to near the 40 before they take him down. Well, that's a heck of a stop by Caden. Look, I have a shortstop out there making that stop. And returns it out near the 40-yard line. It's a decent field position for the Harts to start this drive. They'll spot it officially at the 39.
Yeah, when that kick's a low hopper like that, you know, it's kind of a calculated risk. You know, you're very much at risk for a fumble or to lose your handle on it if you try to field it. But if you can corral it, you get yourself this kind of field position that the Harts have at their own 39.
30-14 the score. Next week we go to Centralia, wrap up the 3-game road trip that starts this season. Hope to see you there. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Nathan Bale looking to do something wonderful here on first down. Fakes the handoff, keeps, and loses yardage. Boy, PBL is just keying now on the middle because that's where the Harts have ended up most of the night. And not much there. See if they give him back to the line of scrimmage. No. From the 39 to the 38, a loss of 1. It's 2nd and 11. Yeah, next week we head to Centralia to play those Orphans. Bale on 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Goes across the middle. Caught and then incomplete. It was not caught. Thought they had the man, but Dylan Wolf could not come up with it. Ball went by him, and the clock stops with 8:41 to go.
And then he got laid out pretty good for his trouble at the end of the play, too, just to kind of add a little insult to injury there.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 11. Harts with the ball at their 38-yard line. Going to throw again. Cross the middle. It's almost intercepted. Caden Vaughn was the intended receiver. PBL had a man there, and it was almost grabbed by Trey Pound. He got a hand on it. Never got to him, though. Pound knocked it away. Ball falls incomplete. It's 4th and 11. Well, that drive didn't materialize.
The Panthers showing some great speed on the edges there. I mean, Vale, almost as soon as the ball snapped to him, has got to get rid of it because he's got a defensive end coming at his face. I mean, the Panthers have been very game on defense today.
Harts are going to kick it away here with 8:37 to go. Miller back for the punt. Gets it high, but not very deep. Hits inside PBL's 45-yard line. And pretty good position here for the Panthers to start this drive. Lost to Breeze Mater Dei last week. Losing to PBL tonight. Heading to Centralia next week. Again, there is no JV game on Monday night. That's because Paxton does not have a lower level team, so there is no game Monday in case you're looking for that. The freshmen will be back in action next Thursday night if you want to see some of those kids. They played a good ball game against Shelbyville last Saturday, lost at 28-26, had the lead till the last minute of the game. Came up 2 points shy. Again, no JV game Monday night. Let's see what PBL does here with this 30-14 lead, how they'll approach this with 8:30 to go. They're going to hand it off just like they have all night, and ball is not much there. Houtzel got the handoff, might have lost yardage. Nice job by the Harts defense. We give a shout out in there Cole Moran in on the stop. Loss of 2, and it's 2nd and 12 back to the 40. So PBL from their 40-yard line. It's 2nd and 12.
And you see the Panthers taking full advantage of their huddle, taking as much time off the clock as they can, and why not?
Yep, they're going to nurse all the time they can here now. There's the handoff. Cut back to the middle. That's Will McClure. And he gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 9,
Levi Michael. Yet another tackle for the Harts. I'm hoping that the Colemans can find us up here on top of the press box with a tackle sheet, because I am telling you, I don't know what kind of numbers Levi Michael is running up. He had 9 last week. He is tearing it up again tonight defensively. Harts run Dirk Levitt in here in the secondary. Meanwhile, PBL taking their sweet time, and you don't blame them. Weber going to come out here and throw. A little wobbler, comes up empty, falls incomplete. That looked like one of mine. Clock stops with 7:02 to go, and that'll bring up a 4th and 9. So the Harts do what they needed to do. They got a 3 and out, and they'll get the ball back here with about 7 minutes to go. So who knows? I've seen a lot of scoring in 7 minutes of football. Thing is, things just haven't seemed to click tonight. Dirk Levitt's going to drop back deep here for the Harts. So also is Zach Miller, I think. He's been busy lad tonight. Let's see what happens here. They can get the punt away. How about a block punt? Harts are coming. Kick is away, but it's straight up the chute, and the Harts should get some good field position here. Ball hits at 45 and comes back to Effingham's way. It's going to be at Effingham's 48-yard line. Boy, that one went straight up. So they had the line of scrimmage at the 40, and it comes to the Harts 48. That's a 12-yard punt, and the Harts have good field position to start this drive. Let's see if something can be built on here. So 1st and 10 for the Harts at their 48, and still 6:52 to go. So Dustin, we've been waiting on a big gain on the ground. Maybe somebody can break something loose here.
Well, that's what you need. I mean, a big play is going to have to happen at some point to make up 2 touchdowns in 7 minutes.
Nathan Vale with nobody back there in the backfield with him. Zach Miller in motion. Vale's going to keep. He comes to the near side. Get him a block, Drew. Nice work. And he gets inside the 40 before they run him out of bounds. Nice run by Nathan Vale. Drew Levitt had a man to beat, and he got him about 5 extra yards there. Sorry?
I said that's a good start. Just build on that. Now you got to keep moving. You got to keep breaking off big plays like that. There's just not a lot of time for your 2 and 3 yard gains.
Good gain from Effingham's 48 to Paxton Buckley Loda's 38, so a gain of 14 yards and a first down for the Harts. One of their few rushing first downs tonight. Vale going to throw out in the flats. He can't get it. And he can't get it to the man. Dylan Wolf, the intended receiver. Kind of a wobbler there. And I think Nathan's saying, how about somebody get me a block there?
Yeah, Nathan's 0 for 7 on the passing game here in the second half. Haven't been able to connect. Haven't been able to get on the same page with the receivers, and really hasn't a lot of times had enough time to make a good, accurate throw.
Clock stops with 6:41 to go. Brings up a 2nd and 10. The Harts at their 38. Miller in motion. Vale's going to keep it. Heads it up the middle. Big gain. Keep on your feet, buddy. Inside the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Harts. Nathan Vale, nice blocking up the middle. Some guys really sealed off their blocks well up the middle. Vale hit the hole, and he takes it inside the 5-yard line. So from Paxton Buckley Loda's 38, a gain to the 4. So from the 38 to the 4, a 34-yard gain. And 1st and goal for the Harts at PBL's 4-yard line. And still 6:32 to go here. Vale up under center. Giving it to the deep back. Howell. Touchdown Effingham. Logan Howell takes it to the house from 4 yards out with 6:27 left. And that makes it a 30-20 game.
Needed a quick score. There it is.
Yeah, that took about 30, 40 seconds to run off that touchdown drive.
How about 25?
I like that better. Comes with 6:27 remaining, and the Harts are back within 30-20. Harts score for the first time since the second quarter. And let's see what they do here on the conversion. Going to go for two. Vale up under center. Rolls to the near side. Going to throw to the back of the end zone. Knocked away, but caught. Caught it for the two-point conversion. Paxton got a hand on that ball, and Zach Blumker still got there and caught it for the two-point conversion. Heck of a grab. You talk about concentration. Somebody whacks the ball in your face, and you can still make the catch. Harts back within 8. 6:27 to go. Back with a kickoff in a minute. 30-22 here on 97.9 XFM. All righty. That drive, 4 plays, 52 yards, took just 25 seconds to execute. Highlighted by the 4-yard touchdown run by Logan Howell. The pass for 2 was successful to Zach Blumker, and the Harts all of a sudden are back within 8. It's 30-22 and still 6:27 to play.
That quick score, exactly what just what the doctor ordered for the Harts now. A big stop, maybe even a takeaway, and try to get yourself tied up.
All right, let's see what happens with Zach Miller's kickoff here. Oh, he pooches it. It goes 10 yards. The ball's loose. The Harts have a shot at this one on that onside kick. Effingham gets the football. That's what they say. Harts football. Perfectly executed onside kick. Ball went about 12 yards. The PBL player had a shot at it, and it looked like Troy Pound thought he had it covered up. I don't know who got the ball for the Harts.
Dirk Levitt.
Dirk Levitt, old number 10. His first varsity first football. And the senior recovers the onside kick, and the Harts have the ball. It is 1st and 10 for Effingham at PBL's 47-yard line. 6:24 to play. Holy Hannah. Let's see what's going to happen here tonight. All right, Vale, Miller in motion. Vale comes to the near side. Looks inside. Good block. There's a flag. He gets it to the 40 before they take him down. Let's see what the flag's about. It's in the Harts' backfield. That's not good news. It is a hold. It is on the Harts. So that negates a good run on first down. So that'll move it back into Effingham territory, and it's 1st and 20 to the Effingham 43-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the 43. So it's 1st and 20. The Harts have to get it inside the 40-yard line of PBL for a first down. Need to get it to about the Panther 37 for a first down. But it's 1st and 20. So you don't have to get it all at once, but you do have 6:21 to think about, and you're down 8. Boy, that onside kick, that was executed perfectly, Dustin.
Yeah, and the PBL players just couldn't quite cover it up on the front line. Might have been caught off guard just a little bit. And Dirk Levitt was ready to get in there and get his hands on the football, did his job, and really maybe could have turned this game around for the Harts, depending on how this all plays out.
All right, we're ready. There's the snap, and here they come, and down goes Vale. That ball, that took forever to develop. And finally, when they got the snap going, PBL had their motor running, and down went Vale. The ball's back to the 40. So that makes it 2nd and 23. So we had the ball at their 38, or at their 48, and now we're back to our 40. 2nd and 23, and it's down to 5.5 to go. But plenty of time. Vaughn shifts now. Here's the snap to Vale. A lot of time to throw. Lost it out there. He's got a man. There it is. Intercepted and dropped. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Zach Miller. And then the PBL player got inside him. And it almost was picked by Trent Wooten, and then it came empty.
I'll tell you what, Vale didn't have that much time to make that throw. He created the time by stepping up in the pocket, but he had the guy coming right around the right edge, and really probably had to unload it a tick quicker than he would have liked to.
So 5:25 to go. 30-22. Timeout Panthers, which is to the Harts' benefit. Comes with 5:25 to go. So the Panthers call time. as they want to sort it out here. The Harts are pinned back 3rd and 23 at their 40 after they had it 1st and 10 at PBL's 48-yard line.
What you run into here, if you don't make up all 23 yards on this play, then, I mean, you're going to be looking at under 5 minutes to go. You know, depending on the gain you get here, what's your next decision? Do you
go for it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you think you have enough time to get a stop and get the ball back or not. It'd have to be a 3-and-out pretty much.
I'd go for it. I would. Of course, I'm not the coach. I don't have anything to lose, but
well, what if they gain, I don't know, 5 or 6 yards on this play? You're still a 4th and really long. I mean,
I'm still going for it. I am. I would. I think the defense has shown me they can stop them now. So I'm going for it now. And if I don't get the first down, then I think we can stop them. And then we'll still have a shot. I don't think they can run 5 minutes off the clock, I guess is what I'm saying. They did one time early in the game. They haven't since. I'm going for it. Hopefully we'll get it here on 3rd down. Bale's ready from our 40. Going to throw. Comes to the near side. He's scrambling. Tuck it in. He's going to run. He's into PBL territory. Yet another flag. He gets to the PBL 45. Let's see what this is about.
It's a block in the back. It's a good call. Unfortunately, I saw it happen right there at just past the 45-yard line. So it's all coming back.
We made it about a 4th and 7.
Well, the flags are thrown back about the Harts' 47-yard line.
Block in the back against Effingham.
And that's the call. It's a block in the back on the Harts. We have been our own worst enemy too many times tonight.
That's 13 penalties against Effingham tonight.
Personal fouls, and boy, I tell you what, it's disappointing. That was a heck of a run, but the penalty, while it might have helped that play be as good as it was, brings it back. So now it's 3rd and 26, because they marked it from the point of the infraction. So it's 3rd and 26, and we're back to our 37-yard line. So we started at their 48. We're back to our 37. It's still 3rd down, and it's getting to how far can you throw it, Nathan? Let's see what happens. He rolls to the near side. Looking. They've got a hand on him, and they take him down inside the 35-yard line. Nice work by PBL's number 65, Jordan McCreary, for a loss, and it's 4th down and a whole bunch. Back to the 34. That'll bring it back 3 more yards. And it's 4th and 29 for Effingham, and at their 34-yard line. And now we're down to 4.5, so we're going to kick it away. Now, this deep in territory, you're hoping you're going to get a punt away, and it's a good one, and you can get a quick stop. This deep, you got to kick it away. So, Zach Miller back to punt here with 4:17 left. Low snap, takes his time, gets it away, and a pretty good kick, end over end. Hits inside PBL's 40 and out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They will score it at their 34. So from the 34 of Effingham to the 34 of PBL. 32-yard punt, if my adenoids are working right.
That is correct.
And with 4:09 to go, PBL has the ball back at an 8-point lead. And Mr. Wilson down here, the kicker for PBL, keeps that leg loose.
Yeah, he's been busy over there. You know, he's just itching for another chance to kick a field goal.
After he kicked a 36-yarder earlier tonight. 30-22, PBL leads the Harts by 8 with 4:09 to go, and PBL with a football at their 34-yard line. So the Harts have to get a stop, get a takeaway, get something positive here in a hurry. They give it up the gut, and that's Hautzel, and he's out across the 40. A nice run on 1st down. There's Durbin again. I think I've talked about him 20 times tonight. Cody Sennett's got his nose in there, and Mr. Boggs. So to the 42, Dustin, from the 34 to the 42, a gain of 8. It's 2nd and 2. And 3:40 to go. So, Harts in danger of going to 0-2 to start the season. Been a while since that's happened. It has happened, though, not that long ago. And the Harts still made the playoffs. So, You keep in mind it's a long season. Coming to the near side, there's Mr. Schroet, who's feeling better. And there's Durbin again on the stop. Holy cow. To the 41. Actually a loss of a yard by the time the Harts got done stringing that out. From the 42 back to the 41, and that'll make it 3rd and 4, and the Harts call time with 3:17 to go. So they see it's 3rd down, and they don't want any more time to elapse. So the Harts call time here with 3:17 to go. Brian, let's take a 30-second break. PBL 30, Harts 22. Friday Night Football on 97.9 XFM.
When it comes to vehicles that get over 30 miles per gallon, we have a lineup the competition just can't touch. At Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, South Route 45 in Effingham. Shop 24/7 online at danheck.com. Go Harts!
So timeout call with 3:20 by the Harts. It's PBL 30, Effingham 22. And Dustin, when you think about all the things that have happened in this game and we still have a shot to win, it's almost incredible.
It's incredible, but at the same time, it makes you think that, you know, if you could have cut down on some of those other problems, you probably should have won the game. So, you know, that it's frustrating and amazing all at the same time. We'll just see if the Effingham defense can come up with a big play here.
3rd and 4 at the 41 of PBL, and the Harts do stuff it. They do not get the first down. Hautzel carried, and the Harts stuff it. Another job by Boggs. But I tell you, Big Evan Boggs is having a game tonight. The Harts middle that time took care of Hautzel. They call him at the 40, so a loss of another yard, and that'll bring up a 4th and 4 and another timeout, this time by PBL.
Now I think
which helps the Harts.
I think Effingham may have called it actually. The PA announcer anyway said Effingham timeout.
Okay. Well, okay. PBL huddled up before the Harts did, so I guess that's why I thought it might have been PBL.
I think the main point, of course, was just to stop the clock.
Somebody did.
I mean,
somebody did.
I don't know why Paxton would have called a timeout in that situation, but regardless, somebody did. Yeah, like you said, 3:13 to go. And the Panthers, what are they going to do here, Greg?
4th and 5 at your own 40. You got to kick. But I wouldn't kick it in the air. I'd kick some squib kick, dribble down the field or something that nobody could hardly ever return. But I'd definitely get rid of it.
Just something down the sideline.
Yeah.
Goes out of bounds after 15 yards or so. It's better than nothing.
I don't think I'd kick something that somebody could settle under and run back for a score. And that's always the threat. That's always the possibility. Let's see what happens here. 4th and 5 at their 40. I just think they've got to get rid of it. There's the snap. Here's the kick. And it's a good, strong kick inside the 25, and it's caught and dropped. And who's got the football? I think the Harts do finally cover it up. Golly. Anyway, the Harts covered it up. Noah Hagan was the man back to return, and it went right through the wicket. But Dirk Levitt covered it up. And the Harts end up with the football, and it's 1st and 10 for the Harts, and still plenty of time. 1st and 10 at the 22 with 3:04 to go.
I think the return man there might have been anticipating some of the pressure that was coming at him, and maybe lost concentration for a second there. So Effingham, though, has the good fortune to get the football back.
With still a chance to pull this thing out.
Yeah, 3 minutes, plenty of time.
3:04 to go. All righty, here we go. 3:04 left. It's 30-22 PBL. Harts with a football at their 22-yard line. What is going to happen here? We've seen a lot tonight. There's the snap to Vail. Nathan up the middle. No flags. He's loose to the 40 before they take him down. Good gain on 1st down. From the 22 to the 40, a gain of 18. So a 1st down for the Harts. 2:56 remaining. Harts would have to score and get a 2-point conversion for a tie here. He went out of bounds, so that stopped the clock with 2:56 to go, and now the officials say wind it up, and the Harts with a 1st and 10 out to their 40. Vail from the shotgun. Miller in motion. There's the snap. Vail coming to the near side. Get out of bounds. Nathan gets 3 and out of bounds, and they got a little extra shove there, but not too hard. And that'll stop the clock with 2:40 to go. Vail's going to sleep well tonight, man. He is earned his keep tonight.
Especially these last couple possessions. They've really called his number quite a bit, kind of saying that he's the guy that's been able to get something done in the running game, and you take whatever you can get after the way things were going for the Harts after 3 quarters.
So a 2-yard gain to the 42. That'll make it 2nd and 8. And he got out of bounds, so that stopped the clock with 2:40 to go. And Vale from the shotgun almost as always. Miller gets it. Zach going to the far side. Get loose, son. Get him a block. He's out across the 40. Into midfield. He's into PBL territory. Inside the 40 before they take him down. Zach Miller. Great run to the far side, and the Harts in business here. A first down with 2:28 to go. 30-22 PBL. Zach Miller from Effingham's 42 takes the ball to PBL's 38. So a gain of 12, and 8 is 20 last time I checked. First down at their 38. 2:22 to go. Harts are driving. Man in motion. Vale up the middle. He gets it inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line. So the Harts took it up the gut that time. A little misdirection. They brought Howell to the near side, and Vale took it up the middle. They take the ball to the 33-yard line from the 38 to the 33, gain of 5. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Minute 55 to go. Vale stays in the shotgun. Miller in motion. There's the snap. Vale going to throw to the near side. It is caught. No, it's through the hands, incomplete of the intended receiver. And a flag, a late flag. Drew Levitt. And now they throw a flag at the end of that play. What's up with that? They're going to call something on Drew Levitt? I'll admit he hit the turf because he was disappointed that he didn't make the catch. Surely to goodness that's not what this is about. But the official that was right by the end of the play threw his flag after the play was over. Personal foul on the Hart.
Unbelievable.
All he did was hit the turf with his fist because he couldn't make the catch.
I mean, there's not been a lot of these calls that I could argue with. I mean, Effingham has certainly committed its fair share of penalties, but that's an unfortunate time to break that one out. Totally disagree.
So they'll walk off the personal foul, which is a 15-yarder, and it pushes the football back out across the 45-yard line to the 48-yard line. So from the 33, a 15-yard walk-off back to the 48. All I'm saying is you watch the video. All right, 3rd and 19. Harts back to the PBL 48 here. Vale from the shotgun. Vaughn's in motion here to the near side. Nathan waiting. Here they come. He gets loose and falls forward inside the 50 to about the 47, and they take him down. And that'll bring up 4th down.
No gain, 4th down for Effingham.
So it gets back to the line of scrimmage. Back to the 48, they're going to call it. And it's 4th down. A minute 20 to go. And the Harts, 4th and 18 at the PBL 48. One more snap here. Nathan looking to throw. Vale across the middle, throws a strike through the hands of Levitt, incomplete, and that will give the ball over to PBL on downs with a minute 6 to go. And that'll effectively end the ball game because you're pretty sure that PBL will just take a knee here a couple of times, and that'll be the show. Well, I'm telling you, you got to see that personal foul call to believe it.
The only thing I could think of is that something that was said. I mean, we can't tell from up here on that, but as far as any physical action, if anything worth calling a personal foul for happened, I did not see it. But, you know, as upsetting as that is, it's hard to dwell on it because there were a lot of other things that happened tonight, Greg.
First down for PBL at their 48. Minute 6 to go. They'll just take a knee here, and they do. And Levi Michael shot the gap and going for the tackle.
A little frustration showing through there, I think.
And they take the knee back to the 46, a loss of 2. And 50 seconds to go. 30-22. Boy, you think about how close this game is and how easily it would have been for a couple of things that went wrong to go right. And the Harts could have had a win here tonight. Weber back up under center, and he's killing as much clock as he can. 28 seconds left, and that'll get it done. And he takes a knee with 24 seconds left, and they won't have to run another play. I guess just for the official record, I'll say that it's back to the 45, and that'll end it. Final score here at Paxton. Buckley Loda 30, Effingham 22. Harts are now 0-2 on the young season. Headed to Centralia next Friday night. PBL's 2-0. Postgame show on the way, brought your way by Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota. More to come in a minute here on 97.9 XFM. Sure could have had a win tonight, couldn't we?
It would have been nice.
Man.
This didn't happen.
No, and you start thinking about all the different factors. My golly, I don't want to put too fine a point on this, but there were a lot of times we shot ourselves in the foot tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
14 penalties, 110 yards, but other stuff, too. We just didn't seem as crisp, I guess, as I thought we might.
No, a few things. Early in the game, we couldn't get our running game going, couldn't get a running game established. They were penetrating, and anytime you penetrate with our offense, it just kills us. We lose guys that are supposed to be pulling and things like that. And they were just getting off the ball better than we were. We made a couple of plays there. We got ourselves back to a situation where we were close. We come out in the second half, and we do zilch with our first offensive drive, and all the momentum we had going into halftime, stopping them, we just kind of lost it then. But defensively, those kids they played hard. They played pretty well as the third quarter, and then they got the one drive on us, and the big thing with this kid, we played. Oh my gosh, I looked out and I think we had 6-7 sophomores on playing defense at some point in time, and it's hard to defensively. Some of those guys we didn't really practice them that much because we had guys going down. We didn't have at least two of our starting linebackers. Tyler Johnson didn't play. Billy Arndt didn't play. Mm-hmm. Kai Harmon goes out in the first quarter. There's three guys that are defensive starters, and an offensive starter, and Billy usually helps us out offensively with our Brown formation, and that leaves Levi. Anytime we want to go Brown, he's in there full time. Plus he's playing full time defense. So we got hurt with all the injuries. But some guys stepped up and did really well, and that's what's encouraging. Dakota Reed looked extremely well. I mean, a week and a half ago, you didn't even have varsity uniform, and we decided to put him on kickoff return and had to give him a varsity uniform, and he comes in and plays the whole second half and does a great job inside there. And I think we started the second half with 3 sophomores in our defensive line, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm a little disappointed offensively with our ground game. We got to get better, but we got to get tougher. We got to get lower. We got to get off the ball better. And Taylor's our best offensive line, but he can't do it by himself. And Jeff Coleman's kind of beat up, working on a bum ankle, but we probably had 4 or 5 holding penalties in there that came at inopportune times. And I don't know how many times I looked up and we were, first and 20 or second and 30 or, and there's not too many plays in the playbook that you can call that are going to overcome that. And I was disappointed with our receivers and in our route reading. I thought they were giving us a lot of short stuff, and we decided we were going to, run the fades all night long, and that's a decision within the route. But once you run 4 fades, you don't complete them. Maybe you should start running out. And we talked to our kids, and sometimes you just got to say, it might be there, but this route is there, and so a lot of that is just decision making, and we're still not there. We're still not mature enough to make the decisions that we need to make to keep drives going. And it's great to make big plays, like we made the one to Logan, but at the same time, it's important to keep your defense off the field and keep drives going. And we didn't do that enough tonight.
And despite all of that, it was an 8-point game.
Yeah.
You got the score in the fourth quarter. You executed the onside kick perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You have the football, and you're still in a position where you could win.
Yeah, and then we got 3 penalties on that first drive.
That's right.
So, our line is beat up right now. We got a lot of guys that are injured, and we're sticking people in that haven't practiced. They might play guard. Now we got to move the tackle and move somebody else in there. And but the guys that ended the game in there, they were working their butts off. And I was proud of the fact that we came there and we kept working, we kept trying, we never gave up, and we scored, and we got 2-point conversion, got us within 1 score. And like you said, we get the onside kick, and we gave ourselves a chance.
Yeah.
And I was, that's what I'm extremely excited about. The guys we had in there never gave up and gave ourselves a chance to win, and we just couldn't pull it out.
Mr. Coleman was nice enough to get me the tackle sheet, and I don't remember that there's ever been a time, maybe one time, when we had 2 kids with 20 or more tackles. But Levi had 21, and Travis Durbin had 20.
Well, we knew they were going to run the ball, and the unfortunate thing about that is they had the ball too much.
Mm-hmm.
When you get 2 guys with 20 tackles, that means, they're running the ball a lot, and they're having to make a lot of plays, and they're the ones, they do the things that I like to do offensively, where you take the ball, opening kickoff, and you go 7 minutes and punch it in.
That's right.
We didn't answer that early, and that was the difference. We could have come down the field, and after they ran that long, we could have put a long drive together and punched it in, and punched them back in the face and said, here we are. Then things would have been a little bit different, but we didn't do that. We went. I don't know if we got a first down in our first series or not, but they got the ball back, and then they go punch it in again, and all of a sudden it's 14-0. So we got to be able to answer, and that comes with maturity, it comes with hard work, and it comes with the want and the will to get it done, no matter what the obstacles are. And we're not quite there yet, and we're going to keep working.
And we'll see what happens as the road trip continues next Friday night as we get to go to Centralia. They know how to play football.
We might be able to play a home game sometime this year.
Man, it's been a strange thing because of the changes in the conference and the changes in the schedule, and it's the hand you're dealt, and it's how you respond.
Well, we knew what we were dealt with, 5 months ago, 6 months ago when the schedule came out. So, it's just having to deal with it, and now we got to go to Centralia and. They're an excellent club with some excellent athletes, and so they're going to give us a lot different look than what we saw tonight. They're going to spread it out and throw the ball deep to a lot of receivers, and they got a quarterback that is going to be running all over the place, and so we've got to adjust defensively, and hopefully we can match up and we get some of our guys that are dinged up back and be able to play a game where we're actually got everybody that we're supposed to have.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
We'll see you there next Friday night.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Harts coach Mike McDonald.